Island. Okay, sorry, I forgot to record it for the people who said that they can't be simultaneous.
Oh, I'm from Oahu. Yes.
Okay. All right. Lana, you wanna?
Oh man. Okay. Hi, I'm Lana, and I went to Clark High School with Ty. So we have a little connection here. And I'm so excited that we're leaving next week, which is kind of wild. And can't wait to get to know everybody and have fun.
I'm Ty. I went to Carp High School with Lana. I'm extremely excited for this trip because I've never been to Asia in my life. And especially in Bali, where the waters are some of the most beautiful they've ever been before. And actually, I'm staying in Asia until Christmas. So I'll be there for like 4 months.
I'm Sammy. I'm from the Central Valley, like near Stockton. I'm currently attending UCSB, but I'm really excited to be doing this program with you guys. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone.
Parker. I just came back from Scandinavia not too long ago, so I'm kind of just getting comfortable again, but now I'm leaving. So, yeah, that's great. I'm very excited.
I'm Kyle. I went to San Marcos with these two, so I know them, and I'm also very excited to go.
My name is Brady. I'm a biology major. I'm from Santa Barbara, and I'm really excited. I want to dive and I want to learn things, and it's going to be awesome.
My name is Cody. I'm currently in this room right now. I like to eat cheeseburgers, and yeah, I'm excited to meet all you guys and live life. So yeah, that's my thing.
I'm Isaiah. I went to Santa Barbara High School, and I'm also a bio major.
I'm Alana. I also went to Santa Barbara High School, and I'm a marine bio major.
I'm Gabby. I went to Carp High, but I don't know if I know you guys.
You're above us?
I think so, yeah.
Are you third year?
Yeah, I'm going into my 3rd year. And then I'm a physics major, and I just got back from Japan, so it's going to be going right back into the time zone, which will be nice.
Awesome.
I'm Kapua. I'm from Kauai. I'm an environmental studies major, so this is not really for my major at all, but I'm really excited to be able to like travel and learn and still be in school.
Hi, I'm Ella. I live in Oakview, kind of by like Ohio, if you know where that is. And I went to high school in Ventura. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Temecula, if anyone knows where that is, down by San Diego. That's where I've been all summer, so I just came up for this. So I'm excited to get to know everyone and spend some time with you guys.
Hi, my name's Sydney. I'm from here. I'm a kinesiology major, EMT and lifeguard. Never been abroad before. This isn't my major or related, but I wanted to be here for the experience and kind of try something new before I dedicate to one job for the rest of my life.
Hi, I'm Aspen. I'm super excited to go on this trip because I've been working a lot so I can pay for things when I get there. So it'll be nice to relax and study a little bit. And I'm excited to learn a lot about the ocean there because I know a lot about the ocean here already.
I'm Amelia. I'm from Santa Cruz, so I just came down for this too. But yeah, I just wanted to get to know you guys better and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I was a bio major and then I kind of switched it. So now I feel like once I get back into it, I'm gonna want to switch it back. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Rachel. I was originally psychology, just switched to biology, so this is kind of perfect. I'm excited. And I'm really excited to see all the animals and the ocean stuff because I know very much about it, so it's really interesting. Yeah, I'm the 2nd year at SPCC, so I'm excited.
I'm Gabby. I'm an answer major, also 2nd year from Excellent Advantage.
I'm a criminal justice major, so it's not very related, but I just wanted to have this experience, so I'm excited to go.
Well, understanding cultural values is really important for justice. So there's a strong link there. Awesome. We got everybody. Darren and Laura, did you go?
No, we didn't.
Well
Go
then.
ahead, go ahead.
I'm Laura England Crucy. I taught on the 2019 program here, but Darren and I also run a travel program company. So I'll be there with him for the first month of your program and get to know all of you guys. And I'm looking forward to being over there again with students. It's going to be an exciting time. We had an amazing time in 2019 that I'm sure you'll hear about later.
And hello, I'm Darren. I know we've been exchanging emails over the time. My main job is actually, I'm a professor of geography down in Glendale. I've been there 28 years. And a few years ago, when they started to develop a Bali program here, I was helping other colleges develop their programs. And from that grew a company, Latitudes. So you've been paying to Latitudes. And as I step out of academia, I'm growing this travel company. Why Bali? Well, we've been going to Bali for almost 30 years. I know what you're thinking, like, come on, you're not even 30, right?
28.
I've been taking students there for many, many years, since 1994. So we've got a great infrastructure there. We have a great itinerary set up. We're working with Michelle to make sure that we're linking your curriculum to the destinations that we go. You're really gonna like this place. It's so different from life in California. But you're going to I think you're gonna embrace it right away. It's a wonderful place. And I'll be there with Laura for the first month, and we have a team over there. And you'll know them after just a few days, and you're gonna fall in love with this crew of Indonesian, Balinese drivers / guides. They can tell you all about the island, more than I could ever know. They live it. Ask questions, ask questions. You're gonna come back a different person. So you can tell I'm a professor, right?
I'm also a professor of geography. That's what I was teaching on the 2019 program. So especially if you have questions about the culture of Bali, that's my specialty. So just let me know.
Chris, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. I'm Chris. I'm
Amarita.
Recently retired from teaching biology here, and because I have free time now, I'm just gonna come down and stay for a couple of weeks in the middle of your trip and hang with you guys and do cool stuff.
Awesome. She taught animal behavior, intro-bio. So she did her PhD on birds and salt marsh. So really, really cool, connected. And you'll learn, so Betsy should be walking in any minute. You'll learn also that when you start meeting all of the other entities in Bali that are not necessarily in human form, you'll see a lot of devotional statues. And the goddess, she has many names and many forms. And I just wanted to bring her into this space to kind of set the stage. The Shakti would be kind of that female version, and the consort of Shiva there kind of together. This one is Tara, and if you look at her, I'll let her sit here with us, but she's doing a mudra. She's doing 2 mudras. And this mudra that she's doing means have no fear. And so she comes in and comforts people. And so I know it's exciting, and then also you're nervous too. And I'm nervous. I mean, did I pack enough microscopes and what's happening? And so it's really helpful to just like take a moment to just like ground out. So I just wanted to let her be here present in the room with us and know that there's going to be, in everything, this whole program is designed super intentionally to be very integrated, very experiential, and everything we do is going to be driven by not just culture, but by nature. And those two you'll see are so deeply intertwined. So here she is. So you can always come up and honor her with the leaves that we're going to use later around her. Hey. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
So good having me.
All right,
Bye guys. Enjoy your afternoon.
Have a good one.
All right. Okay, so we wanted to just, get started with just opening up the floor to last minute questions, packing issues, transportation, anything. This is just like right now for all of you guys, and those of you on Zoom, just kind of unmute and yell out, because I can't really monitor a chat simultaneously, so, yeah.
So if something happened, like if I needed to get a new card or something, is there a way to have things mailed over at specific, like, if we're at a certain address? Is that, okay?
Totally, yeah. All the.
Can I?
Yeah, I want you to make.
Sometimes what they will do though is, as it arrives, they're gonna assess the value of that, and then they're gonna charge some money for import. So just be aware, I sent an old laptop one time, and they wanted me to give them $250. I'm like, it's worth $50, so I don't have it. But just be careful what you're sending.
Yeah.
Oh,
all of us.
Sorry.
There's many.
What phone plan would you recommend? Cause I got a bid on it from my company and it was like $10 a day if you're trying to contact anybody abroad.
Right. Yeah. Do you want to speak to that, Laura?
Yeah, how many of you have Verizon?
You can also do the $100 a month.
Yeah.
Too. That's another plan. Yeah, I do that.
And if you have T-Mobile, you have two options. You can just go with what they give you. I went this summer and I didn't pay you any program. I was getting 3G data. That's all I really needed. I also bought a little hotspot over there. And I use that and it cost me about $15 a month. And then I just use WhatsApp. I didn't accept any incoming phone calls. So there's several things you can do. But the best thing is keep your phone number, get one of those data plans, so you don't have to worry about any surprises. T-Mobile is $50 a month if you want to get the 4G data. It's free if you just use the crappy data, but you can text all the time. It works well for WhatsApp. It's enough of a bandwidth. AT&T, you're gonna have to check if you've got Mint Mobile or one of the secondary players. You'll have to check with them. The worst case scenario, you could go over there and buy a little device for about $70, and every 30 days load up 50 gigabytes of data, and you'd be fine. You spend less than $100 for the 2 months. If you're paying $10 a day for 60 days, that's a lot of money. So definitely the monthly.
And I will say that too, like a lot, when you're in the hotel, you'll have Wi-Fi. So you can do WhatsApp and FaceTime and all the things.
Free.
Free over the Wi-Fi. So you don't, you won't be needing a ton of time outside of that, but it is good. Like mostly when we're out on excursions, we're together, but it is. Yeah.
I kind of have two questions, but the first one, do we have enough Wi-Fi to do an online class that's not part of this program? Like an extra one, like math or something?
In 2019, last year. Yay, Betsy!
And I got a card in City College Trucking. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes,
We're just doing questions. So in 2019, students did have bandwidth issues. We tried, like Laura's class was half online the first month, and it was glitchy. So it is hard, like if your online class, you have to stream video or meet synchronously. Synchronously, no, it's not gonna work because you're gonna be on the other side of the ocean, so you'll be at the wrong time for the class. It's gonna be hard because you're already doing a full-time load, like 4 classes and all the things we're doing, it's gonna be a lot. So I wouldn't recommend that you do another class personally. I feel like that would detract you from the experience. If you do, you might, what is that dot called? That makes it.
The Skyroam?
Skyroam.
Yeah, but you can probably get a local one over there for less money, it'll work better and it'll be cheaper to run. Because the danger is 30 people at one time being online. Maybe someone's streaming Netflix, someone's trying to do something else, you're trying to do a class, that bandwidth gets narrow, so it is good to have a backup.
There was some classes that start super late like I took an online class that started like 2 months late last semester. So would that be an option? Like, online class starts when there's like 2 weeks left in the abroad, and then we could just do it through November and December.
I mean, this is up to you. Just
Okay.
know that that means that you're gonna be having like a lot of experiences that you're gonna have to remove yourself from. Like, like, hey, we're all going tide pooling at night just for fun, and you'd be like, no, I have to stay.
Gotta do homework.
So that's the thing that would make me sad is that you would have to not hang out. And by those last 2 weeks, you might kind of want to be hanging with all. Or you might. So you think about it, but.
Can I make you say on that? I also like, there's gonna be kind of projects and like group work and like creative videos, like it is really intense, like, cause I'm prepping, I'm like, there's a lot. And it's super fun and engaging, but like, I know this is like a deep experience as opposed to just a class. My 2 cents.
Yeah, all the students like in the 2019 program were like, please don't make anything boring. That was a big feedback. That was, and it was also, it made me sad to see people like, here you are in a foreign country with all these amazing people and you're like sitting in an internet cafe with your headphones on, like, like you're not traveling across the ocean to sit in front of a computer.
I have another, unless someone else has a question, but
Yeah.
No, sorry.
You go, Brady.
Okay, well, you said that most of the coursework is gonna be in person, not online. Do you think we could get by without a laptop?
It depends how you roll, like, I mean, we all, us old people, like, there weren't computers when we were in school, and so we did everything with notebooks, so yes. We know, so I don't see why you couldn't, I'm not, yeah.
For my classes, you could do everything online, you just need to be present.
You mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the notebook, like without
Not-
computer stuff, you could just.
Right, and you could write your papers or whatever you need to write, absolutely, and we have enough devices that if you wanted to make a little from a computer, you can borrow, yeah, so, totally.
Do you probably have issue with the service that we get, that not service, Wi-Fi that we get there? I have a website that I use for reading books auditorially. You think that'll be an issue accessing that?
Does it do it real time?
It's Starfish is what it's called. Yeah, one they give us for DSPS, but it's a little finicky as is.
I think you might wanna make sure you get like one of those
Hotspots things, so you get that there as well.
I don't know if the school is gonna give you one or not. Ask them, tell them about.
Maybe
that.
I'll email DSPS and ask for a hotspot.
Yeah.
Got you.
What if you get sick?
Great question.
Like sick, like strep throat or like, I'm sure if we have a cold or something, it won't be that bad, but if we get actually sick, like an infection or something, what do we
Yeah.
do?
So this has happened, so like I'm sitting outside just. And Betsy, by the way, there's some soda waters in that cooler and there's snacks.
I have a really bad habit of getting sick when I travel.
Yeah.
The first couple of weeks, so are we gonna, also, that's another question about the sick.
Yeah, so it's highly possible that you're gonna get sick at some point. And it's okay, we all do. The first time I went to Bali, I spent a little bit of time dealing with my bad decision to buy chicken from the side of the road before I got on the airplane to go home. But, and, so you might get sick and, you'll get a little bit of Bali belly maybe at some point. And so just expect that that's gonna happen and we'll take care of you. We'll have doctors that we can call to bring to you. The most important thing for anything, even like get a little bit more attuned to even slight things, just to say, hey, I feel like this is coming up, or like, oh, I cut, like here, I was roller skating the other day and I like cut my knuckles. This is a small cut, but when you're in the tropics, this can get bad fast. So even though it sounds really weird to be like, Michelle, I got a paper cut, just let us know, please, and then we can keep tabs on it and keep tabs on you. I have a few things that I do to make sure that my immune system is strong when I'm traveling. And I can tell you what I do, but I'm not giving you any advice because I'm only a doctor of marine biology. And so disclaimer, don't sue me, but I take probiotics when I travel. It keeps my gut really happy. I have a really good formula that, you know, refrigerate. I find that ever since I started doing that, I don't get foodborne illnesses anymore. I haven't, and where other people have. I take a lot of vitamin C. That's really good for your immune system. And I'm bringing, you know, multivitamins. So I try to keep myself a little extra. And then like in 2019, even I got sick once. I got like, there was some little fever thing going on and I was down for a day and I laid in my room all day alone and everybody else did something else. And then they left me some juice at the door, which was really sweet. So we'll take care of you. We'll hold your hair when you need to. It happens. Just the important thing is to let us know. And if it's really bad, you know, we have, you know, we had to take some people to the doctor with, you know, a foot infection or a UTI or something. So, you know, those happen and don't be embarrassed.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Just gonna interrupt.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of thinking about insect-borne illnesses such as malaria or dengue fever, because that's a real risk going to Indonesia, especially on the outer islands that we go to. I was wondering if it's a problem in customs if you bring over malaria pills with you prior so that you don't have to deal with going to the hospital there, just in case that happens. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Darren, you address that.
Okay, yeah, first of all, yes, there are a few cases of malaria in Bali, but it's a tiny percentage. In fact, it's almost to the point that there's really not malaria in Bali, but you can't say that in absolute terms. There are a few cases. It's not a risk that most people have to contend with in traveling to Bali. If you go to the other island, as you say, you go up Lombok or further to the east, now it's getting a bit drier, yet it's more conducive to malaria. But Bali, no. Dengue fever is a real issue. It's a mosquito-borne illness, but it's usually from the daytime mosquito. So what do? Don't get bit by mosquitoes. The places that we go to usually have doors that we need to keep shut when you're not going through the door. So keep the mosquitoes out. When you go in the evening and in the early morning, put a little mosquito repellent on, especially from your knees down. Now, why do I say that? It's not like mosquitoes can't fly higher than that, but they like it when the air is still. And if you're in Bali right now, and most of the restaurants are outside, most of your living will be outside, they hang out under the tables. Why? You're there for food, they are there for food, and you are their food. Your blood is their food. So knees down, anything goes under a table, put some mosquito repellent on.
So you don't think I'm gonna need to bring the pills with me?
I
Like,
think
you
you could
don't.
do more damage to your body by having anti-malarial pills than actually getting malaria.
Yeah. Or
Because they're
well,
not
I
good
mean
for
that's
you.
kind of if
Don't
I
try.
get it, because I have shit luck, but
It would be. I've been taking students to Bali since 1994. Not a single student has gotten malaria.
okay. Well,
You're
thank you.
starting off in the dry season, and you're ending up right before the wet season starts. And malaria is more prevalent in the wet season, as is dengue fever. But there are still cases of dengue fever, even in the dry season. So you just gotta be careful.
Couple things, I just talked to an infectious disease travel doctor abroad about Indonesia and Bali in specific. And she said, don't take malaria pills. You can pay an exorbitant price of about $500 because your insurance generally won't cover it. You can bring them, but you should not even self-administer them ever. You should go to a doctor. So
okay.
do that, feel free. My other question is how prevalent and in what locations are dengue, as far as you know?
Okay, well, it comes and goes because there are outbreaks and then there's a lull in it. Last time towards the south, Kuta and Sanur were the big hot spots, so lowland areas, places close to the mangroves, but even up by Menjangan Island where we do some snorkeling, we're there during the daytime, even Pemutaran, they will have outbreaks of it, but again, it's very small percentage. we've taken students again for so many years, not a single student has gotten dengue while we've been there. We did though have some students who stayed on to do some volunteering for a few months. Probably 10 years ago, there was an outbreak of dengue, and one of the students got dengue fever. Was in the hospital for about a week. Yeah, you don't want to do that, right? And I'm not saying don't volunteer, what I'm saying is, don't let your guard down. And they let their guard, they weren't using mosquito repellent anymore, they weren't being careful. Okay, how about Aspen first and then Ella?
Going off of that, like personally, like I'm super susceptible to mosquito bites. Like it's really, really bad. Like I don't know what it is. So do you have like a specific brand that's like really, really good? Cause I get bit like wherever I go.
Again, that's kind of a personal thing because some people work very well. Sorry, not that personal, but some people, citronella works very well. For me, it doesn't work at all. I need something that's got a little bit of DEET in there. So I like the off brand. And the sprays where you can get a nice coating, but don't put too much of that stuff on you.
Oh no, yeah, it's not.
Yeah. And you can buy that here and you can still put it in your luggage, pack it, clothes around it and send that over because you can't get the aerosol sprays there. You can get the spritzer sprays, but not the aerosols. And that's a good thing to have upon arrival.
Yeah.
What?
Eat garlic. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I take garlic tabs every day. So if I smell like garlic, don't be offended, but it works amazing. And again, I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you what to do. I'm just saying what I do. Disclaimer. But I do take garlic pills and I have been in, post, typhoon, everything's down, there's standing water everywhere, sleeping outside on remote islands and sleeping out and everybody wake up and everybody else has mosquito bites all over their body and I don't.
Where do you buy your garlic tablet?
You get them anywhere. I mean, I just out on 3rd tomorrow. You can go to Lazy Acres. You guys know that your student ID is 10%. Wait, what?
No, it's like.
They're kind of price. I don't know how you manage. Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Some desiccated garlic tabs, and some of them have like extra boost immune support, like stronger, whatever. Like, I mean, I can't eat raw garlic. That's a little intense, but I actually don't. Nobody's ever told me it's like.
I'm not messing you now.
You shouldn't.
Do you have a recommendation for the probiotics you were talking about? A brand?
I'll tell you what. I'll just happen to mention what I use.
Yeah,
It's Primal Defense. It's by baking at the moment, but it's called Primal Defense, and it's got like it's high dose. Really, my sister is like really into medicines of all kinds, and she's a critical care nurse, and so she's tested all of them. She's had GI issues her whole life. Once she found this one, it like cured her. And everybody I tell, if anybody has GI issues, she dosed up on them, and everybody seems really good. It's heat stable. That's what I do.
And it works.
Really well.
Ella had a question and well.
I was wondering, is there any medication for the dengue fever?
No.
Or is it no?
There's no, there's one being developed. It's just, it hasn't gone through clinical trials yet. So the thing is, just try not to get it. Now you not get it, don't get it. How do you not get bitten?
I got it in the Caribbean. Super not fun.
No. But all the places we stay at, they are, you're gonna find out they're pretty nice places. They have screens on the windows or they have doors where the mosquitoes can't get there. Just use those. Don't let the mosquitoes into your room. So a couple other tricks that I do. And one of them is the first time I go into a hotel room, we're checking in that night. Before dinner, I'm gonna actually spray the room with an insect. Something that kills the insect, basically. Close everything up, go out. I come back 3 hours later, and there's dead mosquitoes here, there. Now they won't be bugging you in the night. Because if I wake up in the middle of the night, 1 AM, I'm here. I won't sleep for like 2 hours. So I'm hunting those mosquitoes down one by one. So that's one thing to do, but again, that's not for everybody. You gotta air your room out a little bit after that, right? You got screens on your room, no problem. But that is one way of not getting bitten. Well, make sure there's no mosquitoes in your room. Because sometimes when you clean the rooms, they'll leave it.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes coming in, going out.
Are we gonna do anything when we arrive in Bali to fight our time delay?
By your time that you're gonna get a good night's sleep.
Are we just, do we just sleep and then start
Yeah.
the next day?
Yeah, the best thing for jet lag is just what I do is I try not to think about what time it is at home. Cause, like, be here now, just, and you're gonna get a little tired, but we've got that kind of built in, we understand, and, you just start your new, and it's really nice because we're arriving on an afternoon flight, so there won't be a lot of time before you get to like take a shower and go to bed. So just like you'll be so excited to do that, you'll be there, we'll have a nice group dinner and just go to bed early that night, and you'll wake up and be a little
You
groggy.
will wake up early the first
Yes.
few days, and that's just the nature of it. It's even for those who don't usually wake up early, you're going to. But it's gonna be a good thing, because if you keep that going a little bit, a lot of the activities are best in the early part of the day too. So don't worry about that. And the bigger jet lag is really when you come back.
Yeah. I
So
totally find that.
the jet lag's not bad going, it's bad going west.
How many and which fins are you bringing?
How many fins are bringing? 2, 1 for each foot.
Like for snorkeling and like scuba and like free diving, like you have like 3 different types of fins, like which ones?
I do?
Or like
I don't
in
know.
general.
I mean, I do, but how do you know?
I do all those things.
No, I would, if you are scuba diving during the trip, on our days or evenings off, you definitely don't want fins that are just like a cheap snorkeling fin. I tried that once and they just like broke in half. They're actually, cheap fins are cheap for a reason. But I have one pair of fins that I use both. I have the Maris Super Channels, freaking love them. Love these fins, they're faves.
We did have diving fins, and we were gonna go scuba diving. Should we just bring those and use them for scuba or snorkeling?
Yeah, I don't think you need to bring multiple pairs of fins at all. Cause you please don't bring free diving fins. We're not gonna be in reefs you're gonna go that deep. I don't want anybody to do it, and they just kick the coral, so the smaller, we'll go.
So on the scuba diving topic, I'm in the process of getting my scuba diving certification, but there's like a delay in it because I got eye surgery. So and I got a doctor's note saying, well, that's the whole story, but what the scuba instructor was saying is they could do like a transfer to get my certification. Is that a thing that I can do in Bali?
We have all the people.
And then the second question I have, what's the schedule like in terms of like, are we gonna have a lot of free time at night, or is there gonna be a lot of homework? Because and then also like how early are we gonna start class? Because I have work to do, so I need to figure out a whole schedule for that.
You mean work for?
I have a marketing agency, so yeah.
Yeah, so similar question to the kind of online classes. It's just like be mindful. I mean, if you're running things, but just be present, as much as you can. All the places that we're staying will provide breakfast, and there'll be certain hours for breakfast. It's usually 9 or something. So we wouldn't be starting classes before breakfast. So usually it might be around 9:30.
Okay, awesome.
It depends on the day. That what we're doing. If we're just like, okay, we're just staying, at the resort and we're just doing local lectures and snorkeling on that reef right there, there's a little bit more time because you're not getting in vans transit places. So it just depends on which thing we're doing that day.
Around like 9 p.m. we'd be completely.
I think given that, let's talk after.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and we'll we're not gonna do. I don't think we ever we can play this, like part of this is that it's your trip. And so, you know, we could have some lecture time. Most of the time I find that by the end of the day, people are tired. So usually it's like dinner time. People are doing their own things for dinner, going to restaurants or not, or whatever, or eating at the hotel places. And then it's just usually the evenings, it's just like, we're not doing like after dinner lectures or stuff. It's your time. Sometimes people, like when we're Kumacharan, people will be like, hey, let's go on a night dive and we'll meet up on the beach and, you know, whatever. But there's like, that's often the time. And there's gonna be a few days off. You have them in the itinerary. Remember, the itinerary is gonna be fluid. Our syllabi are gonna be fluid because there's gonna be adaptation for us as a class, for any cool events that we wanna add in or take out, whatever. So that's, yeah. Okay, wait, now who was first?
Oh, okay. Like on our days off, are we allowed to like go off on our own? I have a few friends that are actually traveling in Bali at the same time. So like, I was wondering if it was possible to be able to like meet up with them and
Yeah,
stuff like
just
that.
know that even though it's a small island, it can take a long time to get places. So you'll have to arrange a driver. You are nobody. May I repeat, none of you are renting any motorbikes in Bali on this program. And in fact, I would even have them to say you should not ride on the back. Like if you get the Gojek app and you have a motorcycle driver pick you up, make sure that I am not looking because I will call you out on that. No, it's dangerous. So you'll have to arrange with drivers to take you where they meet you there, but it could take you hours to get even. And if you look at a map, you're like, oh, you know, from Ubud to Kuta, it's only an hour. So just be aware of that, because it'll take a little longer, but your days off are your days off. We also might have activities on those days off that, you know, we'll create as options, but you may or may not, you know, you may want to join us. Yeah. Yeah, I think Admin first.
About how much would scuba rentals be? Like, you know, I feel like it'd definitely be cheaper than gear. Because obviously I'm not bringing any gear, but is it
Yeah, do we have to
like
bring gear?
affordable?
Yeah, I just can't answer that question off the top of my head right now with newer. It's a good one, I didn't.
Like just the equipment or like
Yeah.
one tank dive or?
Both.
Well,
Let's
one
just say
thing I
one
might be guided, but just to rent the equipment. I had a deal with Tom and Sorry last time for everybody. I should follow up on that. You could try to answer that question to Google a little bit, but let's see. I'm gonna bring a set of dive gear, so, and that I'm happy to share if I happen to not be diving, which is so weird, but I don't know how that could happen.
So you don't are bringing your gear.
I'm bringing my gear only because I'm a marine biologist, I can't go anywhere without my dive gear. It's just like in my bag already, I don't know. Somebody's wearing underwear, I bring my dive gear.
And you're going on.
I may or may not be going on a trip right after this trip.
Wait, did you have a question? Yeah, how much time should I plan to spend on?
Oh, good question. Let's talk about time.
Yeah, we're sorting that out because we want you guys to have a totally great time, and we're putting an entire semester of 4 months into 2 months. And we're teaching, I'm teaching 2 full 3-credit classes, and that means it's pretty intense, not in a horrible way. In my mind, I'm like, this is completely awesome. But it's not like a casual, oh, there's a little information, take it in and go party. Michelle's classes are strong and amazing, incredible marine biology classes. And so I feel like that's a question that will be answered as we go along. But we've designed the program to be your academic life and your experiential life are totally interwoven. And it's a pretty complete process. I mean, I did multiple off-campus programs when I was in school, and they were fully enhanced. I wasn't off doing other things. And it's because we do need to get the material to you, and we believe in getting the material to you. So in my mind, it's like a fully immersive 2 months, in which you'll be excited to rest after, and you will love what you learn.
But we're not gonna be spending
like super into amount of time, like up late at night, like studying. Our intention is not that we're like blasting you with doctors. Our intention is that you sleep really well, you wake up, have a great breakfast, you're ready to go. All right. Yeah, we're not trying to like motor you it. We're trying to make it like fun, but it's also not, I've had this class question in my when I teach here, and I'm like, this is not high school, it's not junior high, it's college. And that's a whole different level of self-responsibility, taking personal action, taking ownership. And I know it sounds harsh at the time. When we're there, we're gonna have a great time, but that said, there's still this college standard, you know? And college isn't the same thing as like middle school. That's what.
Dive insurance.
Do it. Oh.
Okay. Do you have names of the
Yes.
companies?
Didn't I send that out? I'll give you some links.
Yeah.
Divers Alert Network, Dan. In fact, I hazard to say, did I thought that I made that a requirement. Just to at least do their basic thing. If you are doing, man, these dogs are good. Trying. What? Okay, send those around. You guys wanna have cheap treats, but if you don't know what Divers Alert Network is, if you're a scuba diver, for 100% sure, just be even their lowest intro membership, be part of this. It's very helpful. I'll tell you why in a second. If you're a snorkeler, it's also great because their insurance plans are really great. And I have like their highest level plan, and I just did their like whole like annual travel insurance plan. But Divers Alert Network is a US based thing. It's a bunch of doctors that specialize in diving medicine. So if you have a problem, like I just had a dive and my ear feels weird, you can call their hotline 24/7. You can link it overseas. A doctor who understands diving will talk to you. If you need medical attention, they will arrange that. I mean, I had an incident once and I was on not a cell phone, this was before cell phones. That did happen. I was on a pay phone and they were like, you know what, actually what you're saying, and I was like, I'm not sure, blah. And they were like, actually, this is serious. Where are you right now? Hang up, give us a few minutes. They called back the pay phone and they were like, okay, there's gonna be this doctor, this name, they're at this hospital, go there, they're waiting for you. And I took a cab and there was this doctor being like, there, okay, into the chamber you go. You know, so they're often, if you need an overseas evacuation, they can arrange that with the sensitivity to the needs of somebody who's been scuba diving. Even if, like, I have somebody that was doing the Century bike ride here and her brakes failed and she ended up in a canyon, she had to be airlifted out. Divers Alert Network covered her evac because she was near the ocean. So it's a great service.
When I got certified, they also recommended, the guy that certified me said Dan and the dive shirt. Would you recommend either one over the other? Or does
I'm not familiar with Dive Assure.
Okay.
Dan has such great coverage.
Okay, so Dan for sure.
And even like I called on behalf of somebody who didn't have Dan. My cousin was in Ecuador and his eardrum blew, and I called Dan and they helped him out even though he wasn't a member.
Okay. Good to know.
They're great and it's worth supporting, for sure. Like, do it. Just do it.
It's not very expensive.
No, the low price, the low rate membership is, yeah.
One of the reasons that's important is that the liability insurance that we carry does not allow any scuba diving activities. I cannot arrange scuba diving for you or anything to do with scuba diving. Snorkeling, yes. But diving, no. And some of the insurance policies that you get will preclude scuba diving as being covered. So having Dan in addition to a regular insurance policy would probably be a very good idea. And at that last meeting, I sent out some information about squaremouth.com where you can compare rates, because I would not travel at all internationally without having travel insurance that will at least cover your medical bills while you're away and medical evacuation. There are people that get injured in Bali, they got to get back. It's $250,000. Spending $100 on an insurance policy is a very good investment for your health. So please do that.
But the medical insurance that we have for you covers.
No, we don't. No,
Nothing.
nope.
Got it.
No, everybody has to get their own travel insurance policy. It's good for the school for that to happen. It's good for you to have it happen. We don't wanna be in a decision where we know you need to have medical care, but who's gonna pay for it? Okay, the insurance should be the one.
When signing up for dance, should we put our location as Indonesia, or if we put it as here, like would it still cover the
They'll ask you for your
overseas
home
areas?
address, correct?
Yeah, just put your home
It's
address.
worldwide coverage.
Yeah, just put your home address. Sorry. By the way, I forgot to mention that there are bathrooms if you go that way down this hall. I thought this clock would block me. Okay. Maybe that works.
Michelle, there are a few things I probably need to discuss.
Do
to
it.
Make sure everybody's done.
Do it.
I said, we just had students that came,
And
we had students over the summer in
Have
Bali.
food in
I asked them at the end of it, what would you say every student going to Bali should have? In terms of stuff they take. And here's a quick list, if you want to write down, I'll share it with you later on. Ibuprofen. That should be a global thing, right?
I think so.
Cold medicine, a couple of students got colds, and just like you get colds here, you get colds there, your favorite cold medicine. Sometimes you get what Michelle referred to as Bali belly, some gastrointestinal issue. So if you can still talk to your doctor before you leave, have them prescribe either a azithromycin, Z-Pak, or in the past, we would say ciprofloxacin, Cipro, but very few doctors will prescribe that anymore. That said, if somebody gets really, really ill, we can call a doctor, or we can go to a doctor. It'll cost you about $100 to go see a doctor and get your medications in Bali, in the various locations, all kinds of clinics provide. If you're so sick, the doctor comes to you, about $200. Now, if you have medical coverage here, sometimes you can put that back for reimbursement when you get back. You usually have 60 days to 90 days to do that.
But also don't let like money cause you not. Like it's really important to get on.
Absolutely. And what was mentioned before, like, how do we not get sick, right? Don't burn the candle at both ends, especially in those first few days. You're gonna be excited. At the same point, if you're up late and then again up early, your body is gonna start wearing down. So make sure you keep yourself hydrated, things like that. Allergy medicine. You have allergies? Your favorite allergy medicine. Band-Aids. Bug spray. We talked about that. Right? So a little spray. You can buy it there, and they do have very effective stuff. It's inexpensive, but they don't have the aerosol cans. They have the spritzer spray. A Benadryl stick. You get bit by mosquitoes quite often. That could be something that's very beneficial. Eardrops.
You say stick.
Yeah, they sell these Benadryl sticks that you kind of put onto an itchy bite.
Oh,
okay. And yeah, they work really well.
I'm gonna look it up. Hang on.
They do work really well.
Team.
Eardrops. You're gonna be in the water quite a lot, swimming pools and also out in the ocean. So get that water out of there. You know those alcohol drops. It's the world's most expensive alcohol, I think, right? 4 ounces or so for $8. If you're susceptible to ear infection, antibiotic eardrops. These are things that people suggested. It doesn't mean you have to have it. A water bottle. You've got to keep hydrated. Bring a water bottle. How many of you have gone through an airport recently in the last 5 years or so? What do they do with your water bottle if you have water in them?
Dump it.
They take them away, right? So what I've been doing lately is I travel with a water bottle that's empty, and I'll stuff my socks in there if I'm short for space. Get them out later on the other side. So bring a nice water bottle because you'll be traveling around Bali with that. Then I get like a plastic water bottle or a cheap water bottle, something I can throw away. And I'll keep that empty going through airport security. On the other side, at LAX, you can fill it up from the water stand. Otherwise, you're gonna pay $7 for a bottle of water at LAX, almost for sure. So, but make sure you have a water bottle in Bali. We're gonna try to reduce the plastic footprint of this group. So what I'm organizing is for the drivers over there.
We are.
We're buying right now 5-gallon water jugs, and we're gonna be traveling around with those all the time. So you get one. Just kidding. You're gonna be in the back of the car. So we got little pumps on this, so you'll be able to go to the back of the car and roll on. You'll be able to refill your water all the time. You should not have to buy water the entire time we're there if you utilize the water available. And that includes on the first day. Once we get there, we go to dinner. The night you arrive, the evening you arrive, we've got a welcome dinner. You have to walk there though. I'm sorry. It's 3 minutes. It's like from the parking lot here, right to the classroom. It's about that far. So we're gonna leave your hotel. We walk 2 minutes, there's the beach. Make a right turn, you go 50 feet, and there's our restaurant. So, woo! And I have to get some menu orders from you there, because I have like 3 orders for the group side. We have a beautiful rooftop location. You're gonna love it. So a water bottle. Okay, this is very important. Customs form. What? Customs form. Indonesia now has your arrival custom forms done online. When you get to Taipei for your connecting flight, at the gate, they should have a little scan code there for you to log into and fill in the form for Indonesia's customs declaration form. It says, are you bringing $10,000? No. Are you bringing firearms? No, that kind of stuff. No, we're all good. Boom. It will generate a QR code for you. When you get through immigration of Bali, and you're about to go out with your bag, they ask for that QR code. You gotta show it, they'll scan it. If you don't have it, you gotta go back of the line again. You don't want to do that after such a long flight. Help each other out, remind each other, hey, did you do the customs declaration form before getting in those lines? Your visa. How many of you have been working with me and DESAC? Okay, did everybody get their visa from DESAC? Got it. Anybody not get it?
You got the money back.
I got the money back, so when you get there, you'll buy your visa.
I have it already.
Oh, yeah. So did you work with DESAC?
No, I resell stuff, so I didn't have the money in my bank account because I drained it to make money. So I just got the money back. But yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a little delayed on the process.
Who doesn't have a visa at this point?
I just need to print the paper.
Pardon me?
I just need to print the paper.
Yeah, you should print, if you've got the visa, you need to print that out. Print it out to have it with you. So when you arrive, when you get to Bali, you've got to have your visa. If you don't, you can buy one there. You can buy a 30-day visa on arrival, but then you're gonna have to go to Denpasar before 30 days is up, wait there for a morning, go through a process of renewing for another 30 days. And you cannot renew that one beyond that. You will not be able to stay in Bali beyond that 60 total days. That's why those of you who have been working with DESAC, most of you are staying beyond that 60-day period. So you need to have your visa. You need to hold on to your boarding card. For the flight that you're going into Bali in, they're going to ask you for that. What flight did you just come from? Don't throw that thing away. Keep that with you. And also proof of your ongoing flight. Your flight out of Indonesia. You're going to want to see that. They're supposed to ask you for your vaccine card. When I just went, they didn't ask me for it. Now, this next thing is very, very important. We had 3 students who, upon going to show their visa, the person said, okay, they had 30-day visas. Okay, that's good. Oh, wait, there's something wrong with this. It says here on your visa application, birthplace, USA. Your passport says Los Angeles, California, USA. It doesn't match. Well, remember, when you apply for the visa, it's a pull-down menu. You don't have the choice of putting the city. It only has the country. So then they say, this visa is no good. You can go back and go buy a new one, or you can give me the money right now, and then we'll just let you go through.
All you have to do is say, I don't have cash.
Just say, okay, fine. Here's my credit card. Oh, we can't take credit card. Just go on. That's what they did to 2 of them, but one of them did that. 2 of them actually paid money. Of course, I wasn't there. I was already in Bali. I couldn't do anything about it. So just, if anything like that happens, I don't have any cash. It's all on my credit card or it's all on my ATM. They won't give you a hard time because they're not going to report that to a supervisor. They're trying to get money because when that person paid them, that money went straight into their wallet. So corruption is still alive and well in the world. Just try not to be the victim of it as much as possible. And you can't stop it. There's always going to be things we don't foresee. Someone's experience is going to save somebody here some money that happens. One of the first things you want to do is change some money. Don't do it before you leave. Don't do it at the airport. As you leave, your temptation is, oh, look, money changer. They have really bad rates. What I'm going to do is the day before you arrive, because I get there on Friday, you get there on Thursday, you get there on Sunday. I'm gonna go and exchange money. Bunch of money. So
We call him money.
we will do that. I'll get a good rate for that money. And then if you want to bring a $50 bill or a $100 bill, it's gotta be crisp, it's gotta be new, can't be one of those old ones, gotta be the ones that got multiple colors on it. Can't have any writing on it. I'll exchange that for you at the rate I got for it. And then I'll go exchange money again. I'm not gonna make any money on this, just wanna make your life easier. How many of you would want to do that? Looks like almost everybody, okay. So in Indonesia, when you exchange money, when you exchange cash, you get the better rate for a $100 bill and a $50 bill. Every other smaller bill is less of an exchange rate. So don't exchange $20 often, do $100 less often. Or if you're gonna use an ATM card, make sure it's a 4-digit PIN. You can do that at the airport. There are ATMs at the airport to get a good rate. Okay, depending on your bank. Lana, your hand went up first.
How much cash should we bring with us?
That's a very good question. If you're going to be using an ATM at all, keep most of that money in your bank. You can access through your ATM. If you're not going to use an ATM at all, you probably need to bring somewhere around $1,500. The temptation is to do a lot of shopping. But I would say, hold off on the shopping until towards the end. Why? Because otherwise you're gonna have to carry all that stuff with you all the time. And number two, by that time you're thinking in rupiah, not dollars. And by the way, those who exchange $100, you'll be a millionaire. Because you're gonna get about 1.5 million rupiah for that $100. Okay, start thinking in rupiah and you can negotiate better.
You'll also hear what people are paying for different
Do you
things.
need, cause I have a picture of my COVID vaccine, do I need a physical copy? Cause I don't know what happened to that original card.
You should. If you have a picture of it, you can print that out.
Okay, they just needed like, just a picture. Does it matter if you're up to date on your
As
current?
long as you've got 2 shots.
I got 2 shots.
Or a note from a doctor saying you can't.
Okay.
Exemption.
If I only got like the Johnson and Johnson one.
Then you're fine too, because that's a
Okay.
1-shot vaccine. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is food covered? Are we
Is
gonna be
food
on?
covered?
Yeah, for every day for
Your
breakfast. lunch,
breakfast is included every day, but the other meals, no. But that, with one exception, we included on the bid, on the contract, we included 13 additional meals to be included. But we're bumping that up to about 17. Woohoo! There's about 17, lunches or dinners and stuff like that. But you're gonna find that when you go to Pemutaran, you can find, okay, this place across the street down here is a good place. A lot of tourists seem to be there. The food is reasonable price, maybe $5.
Yeah.
So you'll find those places. The hotel itself even will have decent food, but we're gonna try and provide an occasional meal so that a certain day, like, we'll cover the lunch. So the welcome meal, the farewell meal, but there's also a bunch of meals.
So we have to pay for the individual meals on a daily basis?
Yes.
No, you don't have to bid. It's bid.
No, I said pay.
Pay.
Hey, I think it's bid. You could be bargaining at restaurants.
Some people eat on, Michelle ate street food chicken. You've got to be careful about what you eat, but some of the places are very,
But I
very,
had eaten a lot of street food the whole entire trip. It was just that chicken,
that last one that got you.
fried chicken, yeah, every time. The whole oil.
My arch nemesis.
Oh, yeah.
And if you like Indonesian food, noodle dishes, rice dishes, fish dishes, chicken dishes, your money will go. I just finish up a couple of things here because I think I'm almost done.
Yeah.
For a welcome meal, there is a menu. There's a limited choice of things that we can choose from for the welcome meal. Do you want to call some of those off, Laura?
Yep, we have pumpkin ravioli, we have penne with mushrooms, we have gnocchi al pesto. And then we have nasi goreng, which is the fried rice, and mee goreng, which is their fried noodles. And both of those can either be done with or without chicken, and then also with or without egg.
And when we say chicken, it's just chicken satay, but they would make a tempeh satay for vegetarians, so some options there. And for dessert, it was like fresh fruit,
Tropical fruit.
whether the fruit is in season, or ice cream.
Mm.
Now, coming from sorry, gelato in this case. It's a nice place that we're going to. It's a resort hotel called the Maya Resort. It's next to our resort. And their restaurant is top-notch stuff. So when we say nasi goreng, nasi is Indonesian rice. Sorry, Indonesian word for rice. Nasi is rice, like table rice. And noodles are known as mie, M-I-E. Goreng means fried. They're wok frying. So nasi goreng is wok fried rice with all kinds of goodies in there. Mie goreng is wok fried noodles. And we're going to see those dishes quite often. Satay, you all know what satay is, right? Peanut sauce. Good stuff. And I took one of our guide/drivers there to check out various places for a welcome meal. And he said, his quote, "This is the best nasi goreng I have ever eaten." What? A dish he's probably eaten thousands of times. All right, so we need to get some kind of numbers to them before we go.
Do you want to do it now, pass around a thing, or do you guys want to make a form?
Well, one of the easiest ways is if we haven't established a WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah, we have the Discord group, but we could also do WhatsApp. I thought Discord would work okay. I haven't personally been to Bali yet because my trip this summer got canceled by a stupid typhoon, but.
All the drivers use WhatsApp, all the
You're gonna
local
wanna use
drivers
WhatsApp
do.
anyways, but as a group thing, I just thought the Discord would be nice because you can make channels for your pictures and stuff, but we can start a new WhatsApp group. If that's an easier way, just for general comms.
both?
If we could do that, I could send a poll out and have all those choices, then we have names associated with that.
I'll create a WhatsApp
Okay. Awesome.
chat for us also.
Okay. Also, that way I can monitor it. When you're coming through and anybody has any troubles, I'll be there and you'll be able to talk to me real time. Really, the last things I have to talk about are safety issues. The sidewalks in Bali are disasters waiting to happen. They go up and down, and all sorts of hole. Always pay attention. Okay, if you're on your phone and you're doing this and you're walking like you would here, you're gonna fall down into a hole or trip over. So be careful all the time. You see, I gotta do this liability thing. Rabies. They do have rabies in Indonesia in certain areas. In Bali, they still have rabies. They had it diminish, and then it's kind of like flourished again in some communities. So rabies is transmitted by mammals, all kinds of mammals. So you want to try to stay away from those cute little kitties and those cute little dogs as you're walking by and want to go and pet them and they snap at you. If you get bitten, you have 48 hours, if that's a rabid animal, to get your injection series started. Otherwise, it's fatal. So what do? Do you take a chance? We can't take that chance. You gotta say, no, you get scratched and drawn blood, or you get bitten by any mammal, including monkeys, you gotta go to the doctors. And right now you need 4 shots, $125 each.
God.
Yeah.
If you have rabies shot already.
Then you need less numbers of shots, but you need to show them proof of that. So a lot of people say, oh yeah, you can get it beforehand, but if you never get bitten, you never need a rabies injection, right? It's only what you need when you get bitten. You need well, depends on where it is in its sequence. So if you get bit by a dog, this is what Indonesians do. They'll quarantine the dog and they'll wait. Well, it's not showing any symptoms, but they've had several deaths this year from people taking that strategy. Yeah. So best to err on the side of caution. I don't want to scare you, like, oh, I don't want to go to Bali anymore now. That's it. But these are the realities that we have to face. So if somebody gets bitten, you gotta let us know. Okay? Don't try to hide it.
Or scratch.
Or scratch and drawn blood. Yes. Bali belly. If you eat funky food or just food that's got an Indonesian bacteria on it, the Indonesians, they can eat it all the time. We've never seen that bacteria. It could upset your stomach. If it goes beyond 24 hours, let us know. Because every day you're paying there to be there for a special occasion, right? This is awesome. But if you can't participate because you got to be 10 feet away from the toilet at all times, let's try to limit the time of that and make some decisions about, look, you need to see a doctor, it's a time to take medicine, things like that. Okay? If we can be informed, we can help you make decisions. Dengue, again, don't get bitten by mosquitoes, close those doors, close those windows, bug spray. Don't ride motorbikes. Michelle said that. When we go snorkeling, we'll do it from the beach at certain times. Other times we're gonna do it from boats. The local boats they call prahus. And a prahu is it's like an outrigger. Well, outriggers have these booms, right? So stabilizing booms on the outside. So when you're snorkeling around, you come up, you gotta make sure you know where those are, right? You don't wanna get whacked on the head by an outrigger boom, okay? When we go to Menjagan Island, we drive, we go to a harbor, we get on the boat. And those boats are sometimes tied together, one after the other after the other. You go out to the island, they'll anchor, or they go up onto the beach, they'll tie together again. If you're sitting on that boat enjoying your time and you got your hands behind you and that next boat comes up, it will break your fingers, maybe worse. So you've got to be aware of your surroundings, right? I don't want to scare you again, but I want you to be aware of it. So when we're on those boats, oh yeah, remember he was talking about with your fingers and stuff? Keep your fingers inside the boats.
And this is also where we're gonna be really caring for each other. And so, we all do that occasionally. You're on the side of the boat here with your hand, and we'll just remind each other, hey, hands in, you see a boat coming. And let's have some agreement that we won't get offended if somebody's reminding us of something that we already know. We're just looking out for each other, and we want to keep looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
I don't mind if you remind me.
So our insurance dictates that I have to talk. But believe me, you're gonna have the most wonderful time with two fantastic instructors on this trip. You'll learn so much, and again, you'll come back transformed in such a positive way. But let's make sure you come back safe and without any kind of illness.
And to reinforce that, if you want to talk to any of us personally about a medical issue, something you're concerned about, some other preoccupation that's keeping you from being really present, let's try and do that today or sometime soon so that we know ahead of time, so we can be really supportive to you.
Is it cool if I give you one of you guys an EpiPen today from me?
Absolutely, yeah, I think
You can use it on someone.
I don't know if I'm
too,
updated, but we did do the training in the pre-times. I think we're probably out of laps, but that's a great idea. Well, I'm gonna be carrying, we have a portable trauma kit, and I also have a first aid kit. So like between me and Betsy, we're gonna have a couple of first aid kits always with us. You'll always know where it is. Like we'll have in every place that we stay, we'll have a designated place that everybody can access, that will have our little library, and it will have the first aid kit there so that it's accessible to all you all. But if you need something bigger, we'll have the trauma kits. Will be, accessible via the chats, if you're needing us at any time. I leave my phone accessible at all times, yeah.
Also, I was gonna let you guys know, like, my sister travels a lot, so she found out about this little travel pack that has all the little medications and everything. So she got that for me, and it's super compact, so it's not gonna. I can send a link to it.
Yeah, thanks.
But she said it has all this stuff for stomach aches or ibuprofen, all that fun stuff. Any sort of medical issues you'll need, it's all in a little tiny compact little bag.
Yeah. I make my own, and by the way, you guys, just to remind you that I gave you access to my packing list here that's linked in your folder. So I just put a few extra notes here while we were talking, but you guys all have this packing list. So that's in your student resources folder that we made for you in the Google Drive. So you can download that. I personally, I live and die by my packing lists. I have it printed out, and I literally check things off. Once, I have two check boxes. I have one for okay, it's sitting there staged on my bed, and then, it's in the luggage. So, oh, you didn't bring them to Bali. Oh,
I didn't.
One at a pub the other night, and I was like, how come I don't have one? I was like, well, you will. Okay, so anyway, so you have this packing list. This is just so don't feel like, there's things in here, you absolutely need, and but this is my variation of it. So feel free to, make a copy of that. And what I do when I travel too with packing lists is I have mine printed out, and then I'll put little notes and some, on every trip. I swear, I travel all the time overseas, and I'm constantly putting little notes things I really wish I had brought, and I also have the things I totally didn't need, like, I really didn't need 5 t-shirts. 'Cause you guys are gonna have to get used to me wearing the same, things like that. It's really helpful, and so I encourage you to curate your own list. And my list has, just on Cody's note, like, I have like little toiletry, little medications thing. Like, I bring my own sets of, all those things, so I put those there for you in case you want that, so those are in there. Just to have on hand. I do recommend, like, I've been seeing a lot of people right now with all this heat, like needing electrolytes.
Yeah.
Those like emergency packets or things are great, yeah.
With laundry, do most of our hotels have like
Yeah.
washers and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll take your laundry, do it for you, it'll come back cleaner and folded more perfect than you've ever seen it, and you'll just be kind of embarrassed.
You have to pay for it?
They'll take all the
Yeah.
stains out.
You do it whenever.
Yeah, you pay.
Yeah, you pay a little bit, but it's not much.
Okay.
And then I always have a little bit of laundry soap for things I wanna just do in my sink, I do.
Can like me,
Yep.
No, just wanna add, like, bring tip money, because all these people are
Tips.
often working for
Thank
very
you.
little money.
Yeah.
And literally, your heart will go out to everyone, and it's very helpful to them, and they're getting paid so little to wash your clothes, like, some small, and so it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, sorry, it's not rude culturally to tip, right? Because there are places that it is rude. to tip.
No, it's not rude, Darren. Laura, you wanna talk about how the Balinese fared over this pandemic shutdown?
No tourists for 3 years, basically. In 2019, they had 7 million visitors into Bali. In 2021, they had 41. 41 international arrivals. They just locked the place down. So everybody who was in the service industry lost their job, lost their cars, lost their motorbikes, all the stuff they had loans for. So as it's coming back, they are so thankful to see people. And so, yeah, a little bit of tipping goes a long way. So if you go out to a restaurant and your bill comes out to 273,000 rupiah for a few, that's about $17. I sometimes just leave it 300,000. Say, okay, take it, you can take the change, no problem. When we check out at each of the hotels that we go to, or maybe when we see our drivers for the last time at the end of the program, we'll do the reflection and say thank you for the extras that you've done for us. And then we will match that. So whatever you guys put together, we'll match that to send to them. So yeah, so we have some t-shirts.
Yeah, so Darren made us these beautiful t-shirts.
Now,
Yeah, this is a good time. Wait, we have more questions.
I just
Bye.
have a quick question.
Yeah.
About the washing, like hypothetically, like me and Parker live in the same room, and we bunch it together.
Totally.
Is that fun?
Do we need to do
Okay,
room
cool.
stuff today?
Nicole sent me a room list.
Can we see?
Yeah, actually, I had it on the box.
Good to know. But
That's what surprised me.
I'll look for it in a second, but one thing that I want to say about rooms
Who do you want to be with an
is that we will, like, Nicole put a lot of work into like pairing people up with, similarities and requests for the. So initially, but we're gonna be moving into different places. A lot of times, some places we have rooms, that might have 3 people, so sometimes you're gonna be moving around. Some people are gonna want to shift, so it's not like we're not dictating. We have this list to get us started, and then, we can always
We
be
swap.
fluid with it, yeah. And I recommend you guys room with other people, like, we're gonna be moving like 5 times, right? We're living in 5 different places, so switch up who your roommate is, you get to know each other really well. But that's the most recent list that.
Yeah, this is what Nicole sent
I'll put
yesterday. As Michelle stated, last time we make these room lists,
Pull it up.
and then we get to another city, we find out, well, this room had nobody in it last night. This one had 5 people in it. And people just kind of like did their thing. But if you are making any changes, moving the room, you need to let the front desk know. Because oftentimes, that's staff there, they'll get to know your name and what room number you're in. And if you charge, I got this lunch I'm having, I'm gonna charge it to my room. They need to know which room to charge that to, because then the night before we leave that hotel, they will have tabulated all your meals there, and there'll be a bill for you. So that way you don't have to pay each time when you eat. You'll be,
Can we snack food into Bali, like if it's packaged in like cookies and nuts and.
Absolutely.
If it's all packaged, but that could be a good idea for some of you hungry people,
I've been trying to do stuff all the time.
like a bag.
Yeah, and some people have the things that their go-to things, right? Like we had down in LA, a lot of people bring tapatio or Tabasco to a place where they do have chilies, by the way, and they do make salsa.
Fantastic.
They just call it
Really
sambal.
good.
Sambal means sauce, basically. So you can't get it, but it's not the same. So if you've got something that's particular, bring it. If you bring chocolate, it's gonna melt, almost for sure, somewhere along the way. So just be careful. Eat it right away. Okay, do you want to read this off? You want me to read? Oh, you have it there.
Wait a minute, I gotta push all the right buttons so that online can see it.
That's the one. That is the one she sent yesterday. I see the change.
Confidential list. Okay, let me see if I can make it bigger. Let's read this. You guys read that? You're all yelling. It's only in.
Oh, it's me and Jaden. What up?
Okay, it goes on. I don't know how to make it.
I'm 20/20 vision and I can't read it.
I just populated this into your student resource Google folder, so you'll have access to that as well.
And that's where everything else is, right? Like everything else.
Everything, so, yeah, it's like,
Where?
let me just remind you, hang on a second, so you can show you.
That's
almost.
And I was like, I'm thinking about
Hell
Jaden.
It'll probably be different though. We'll probably have 3-person rooms at some hotels.
Yeah, we'll invite
'Cause
you
we're
all
going
every
to,
day.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
We'll just be each other.
here
We better be
is
right next to each other.
in your Google Drive, this folder is your folder that I set up for you. So we have, I've already linked you all to it in multiple ways. So I just downloaded that into the student resources, so you have 3 folders
Is it in
in
the
your
email?
Google Drive. Betsy's, my class, and then this orientation material, this everything that has my packing list, those important emails that went out. So I'm putting everything there. Our itinerary, actually, we
Is
can
it shared
change
with
that
us or
now, so I'm
something?
gonna.
Yeah, it's in the body.
And we'll update. I put a link in my Canvas shell to the most updated itinerary, because we had a few changes to certain activities, but we'll put that there. So that's there for you. Remember, all those resources are here. And by the way, this whole thing is being recorded, so I'll send you a link to this long thing. But so I know it's hard to remember, but those resources are there for you. Okay. Any other logistics questions? Hi.
Sorry, just gonna.
No worries.
Yeah, the says.
Not at all. We're just hanging. Sorry, we took over your room.
No worries.
Yeah. Any other logistics questions?
Can you go over, I know there's a list, but exactly what school supplies that we will for sure need to bring? Just notebook wise, and if we need the physical textbook. That type of.
So for my class, you'll find that here. I made this, I think I emailed this to you a long time ago. So this goes over the book and all the things you need. So I can tell you for for the marine classes, I will tell you, there's this physical oceanography textbook that's a free online resource, and you can download the PDF. Helpful to have as a resource. It's not the best. It skips out a lot because the open access textbooks tend to be a little bit skimpy on figures and things, but I'll bring, and I'll ask you guys how many, I have this, originally I was thinking I wanted to use this one. This is Garrison Oceanography book. It's a brilliant and beautifully done book that he partnered with Nat Geo. So I can bring 1, or I could bring 2 copies of this.
Before you sent out the link, I found a $20 version on eBay. I can bring my copy too if you want.
Great. So how many people think they would be accessing an additional physical oceanography book in addition to just this online PDF one?
I have a physical one.
You have a
Not
physical
gonna-
one?
I think Cody said he was gonna use it, but
Okay, I'll bring just maybe 1 extra then. It'll be in our library. So that one is really helpful. As far as, the marine biology textbook, I will also bring, this one just happens to be in a binder because this is the 12th edition. There is no free online accessible marine biology book. I put these as required materials in there because if you're on the promise, you'll get your books free. But I know books are expensive and heavy, so don't feel like if you don't want to get the book. I know, I mean, I read and write, my professor, I know that like students say, oh, you can pass your class and do great even without the book. It's fine. But I want you guys to have it as a resource if you want to. So I'll bring 2 copies of the marine bio one in our library.
Are you guys needing to, should we do this before we continue with that?
Probably, because we're gonna have
Yeah,
to.
because you
head
guys
back
are
in a
leaving?
second.
Okay, we'll stop and we'll continue that in a minute.
I just wanted to show the various sizes here. We've got
Yeah.
small, medium, large, and extra large. And some people like them a little bit because they will shrink a tiny bit. Anybody feel like they're extra large in one little room? Yes, we got.
Okay, so why don't we, yeah,
Me too.
you wanna just hand them out now and then we
Thank
can
you.
take a break and
Who,
continue. It sounds like there's more logistics questions.
Thank you, Darren.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very generous.
I'm tie-dye.
Good boys. Sorry.
Yes.
I can see it, like a tie-dye party. It would be really great.
Darren and Lauren and Mia, but they've been like in and out of Bali for like 30 years or something more. And they are incredible, like they're insanely generous. You cannot go on other abroad programs and find the quality of care that Darren and Laura provide. They know way more than any of us when it comes to Balinesian culture and history because they've been living inside of Bali for years. And they're generous to a T. You're getting quality above other programs times a million because of Lauren there. So just wanna like snaps to them.
I can't live up to that. Larges, anybody?
Do you think they'll shrink?
I looked, yeah, the instructions are trying.
They run large or small?
They look like they run a little bit.
You can try them on too, just try them.
Might be a small.
Oh.
There we go.
Do you want us to get
Okay,
a
but throw your
physical
what?
copy of the oceanography book? That was the one I didn't see on the list. I might have.
It's, I gave you it online.
Does James give us a discount?
I gotta get you another loan.
I changed them.
Yeah, ask him about it. He'll want you to sign up
Kind of super blind, okay.
because like, I don't know, he gets some points or some shit.
Okay. I just go down to the shop and ask for it.
After this, if he's, what day, he's probably not.
Who's gonna large this? I got.
So, yeah.
Really, do you have his number?
I do.
Shoot him a text, be like, hey, like, can you send me the damn link?
See, I've texted him before, he's never answered me.
Then call him.
Yeah. That
If
too,
not-
he's never
Oh,
answered.
yeah, he's so annoying. Well, I can call him for you and be like, hey, send them the link.
Okay.
Did you get certified through James?
Yeah, but then he hired me.
He hired you? So you certify people?
No, I'm not an instructor. I just like rent here. And like I do like all his trips.
That's pretty cool. James is so funny.
I don't know, I kind of like picked up a second job and like I'm slowly backing away, but like he's great.
You should scuba dive with us. We should do a big trip. I had a friend who was just in Bali, like.
Didn't you guys go on Spectre?
We did.
I was gonna go, but I didn't get off the wait list.
My size, not.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's fine.
Bali.
Spectre's not going anywhere either.
Yeah, exactly. We'll come back and go.
Somebody got one already?
Oh wait, can I get some?
Huh? I kind of run either way. It's weird because I have like, it's always like the rest of my body.
Yes, I know we have.
There's 2 more desires for medium temp.
Yeah.
Okay,
Coming your way.
anybody else for a small? Are we set? Everybody has a shirt?
Can somebody save a small for me?
Yes, what's that? How are you guys out there? Melly, what size do you think you'll be?
I'll be a small. And could you give it to Sarah?
Sarah, where are you? Okay, a small. Sarah, okay, done. Rosie.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
I'll probably be a medium.
Medium.
Yeah.
Anybody here you know?
Gabby.
Gabby.
I don't know. The question wasn't
Thank you.
my scuba fit. You need a
Can I do a medium too?
Anybody know here?
Yeah, can you give it to Sydney?
I'm just gonna bring it. But now I'm like, do I bring the second pair? Even though she's like,
Would you mind grabbing
Or you're
one
gonna
for
go scuba
Jada?
diving
I got you a
I'm
size.
definitely gonna go dive.
Medium, correct?
with the big pet.
Thank you.
Did everybody get one?
I like just bought.
It'd be awesome when we're over there for everybody one day to wear these. We'll get a group picture with them. Okay. I'm gonna, some of the other ones I'm gonna get to our taxi drivers over there. Or guides, drivers. Maybe I-
It's so powerful. the water, though.
Don't be missing
Saying
this
you want
one.
to get like the one bill.
Nope.
No, I might do that, maybe. But the same.
But at the time, I was like fully against countryside.
Yeah, I would love to do that. This online and here.
It's fun on me a lot. I used to be.
I didn't. Start like.
Oh, Oh, nice.
We got.
I'm always by one.
Yeah, probably not, because, I mean,
Michelle,
probably the lower 7.
I don't know if you can hear me. I'm having like the worst Wi-Fi right now.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna try to leave and come
I
back.
went with like all 6 girls with it. They're like all hitting on
Okay, I don't think anyone can hear me, but
Yeah, I was like, damn. Like,
No, the camera's like there.
Everybody okay with it?
now that I think.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
She's like, as soon as
We're like a week away.
I could share.
Yeah.
No, I actually, I bought, I don't want to do that too.
I brought utensils for all of them. I'm not going to share. I'm gonna bring my physical ones, because I have them, but I got them for really cheap, so.
It's fun to dance with, so I might need to take her out. It's not often to go to a nice dance.
And I was looking at these classes.
Yeah.
Takes up a full size like carry-on like backpack, and so I had to fit everything into like my other like roll bag. So I'm like,
Yeah, I'm definitely bringing all my textbooks. I could, but
And then
I don't
also
want to like real nice cheap Bali with like 2 carry. Yeah, that's. Yeah, too.
Everyone's like, bro, you're going away party.
Another bag, like. Yeah.
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 Maybe a one-time thing, I get certified.
You pay for 2 check-ins.
I'm gonna pay for, well, if I take it.
I got 3 more.
That's the only part of Europe.
Well, yes and no.
I saved up for that.
my money earlier this summer.
But I'm the same like time to. You'll be arriving in Bali. You guys, I'll be arriving in the same.
Oh, sorry, I don't.
And you'll be in a layover. Yeah, okay. I just gave. I think it's probably, yeah.
Or like,
Oh.
Yeah, like, we're charged. Yeah.
It's late.
Are you bringing like laptop? Cause I have an iPad and a laptop.
I'm gonna go
not
through
gonna
all
bring both,
10,000 of
but
my
we can
photos
bring
on
both.
that laptop.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then I'll have to figure out something to do for the other 22. Like,
Just like knock out.
I'm just so, like, I don't sleep.
I don't have enough
Like,
time.
like I think on that like red eye flight, like I'm so tired, like by the time we like leave, like, you know, I want to be asleep. Before the time we get to
You have
like,
first chance left?
Are you bringing a necklace? Like, no, I don't want a necklace. I don't
Wake
need
up
it.
and I was
Like,
like, damn,
this
what
guy,
time is it?
I don't seriously.
Still have like 10 hours
love
left.
one. Michelle's cheating on those. Yeah, that was like this
I don't like
innovation.
It's a red eye. Really.
Yeah, I feel like I was like, baby, yeah, it's.
So that's the thing.
I can
I think it's a double.
Okay, that was the other thing. My birthday was a couple weeks ago. My parents got me a GoPro, so I'm gonna bring that. I know. I need to buy a GoPro.
For this I've gone is like
And I also have like a small like
Spain.
Yeah, like a digital. That's true. I feel like the digital part is really.
So that's good.
Wait, what?
Just a lot.
I have a link to Bali on the.
It's like going out.
Yeah,
Like,
I have-
I was 18, Italy, and I was
Yeah.
like.
I would love to just stand up. Wait, what? I have a. We're just gonna take a break and like stand up and just stretch. It's a long time to be sitting. I was thinking. Yeah.
You guys want to decide what, like 5 minutes?
Well, I have like, but only 30. What? 30.
You want to let me have 5 minute break, bathrooms and stuff and come back here? I have 14:22, so yeah, let's come back at 2:27.
I want to bring. I want to bring. But I feel like some people, everyone's bringing something like.
I don't even know if I'm disposable because I'm already having to buy so much stuff.
I just already have a film camera, so I bought it.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I'm like, but I want.
Yeah, this is gnarly at night.
I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed.
And then London.
I know, but we should like do something like everyone.
Yeah, I just bought my ticket for it.
I actually just bought.
I know, I've been trying to go.
I bought like a.
I bought one of those. Yeah, yeah, but I was just done.
Exactly, that's like literally my thoughts exactly. No, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been waiting for so long, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring colors, but I was like not paying. I like have them. So I'm gonna have, I'm not. I know, I families. Lana has like, yes, also I work with her. Yeah. I told her I was going to. I don't like that, but. I wanted to, but I was, like, I wish we had to bring all this, like, I wanted to like, put everything in like a backpack and like, I don't know. I know. It was like, kind of. Use the parents, Airbus. Yeah. Like, oh. Because my mom. I was gonna bring this one on this one. I don't like. Do I bring my
I was gonna fly from like San Jose to LAX and I was like, bye, that's the whole LAX.
Yeah.
So like, Barbara and
Fill it up.
yeah.
That would be. Right. Did you get that? Yeah. Well, I think I did. My doctor. I had to do like a, it's like, I prescribed it by yeah, I did like a. Probably the doctor I've never done this before, and I was like, oh, they're not gonna prescribe it, and then they did, I was like, patient review, but. No, I think that's all, so I think she like between everyone, like, oh, it would be fine, you know what I mean, like, I mean, I'm hoping like.
Like, I don't know, I'm happy because like I went to Mexico with like the state school.
I just like whole like living with us. So I'm gonna try to get a sublease for like spring semester when I get back. Kind of weird, like being home with the family. I still have all the gear though. Like I was when I came here, I like saw my friends again and stuff. And I was like, it's perfect because I should be able to meeting in person and actually like experience this.
Text and figure out like the suitcase. I'm just like, I was like suitcase. I don't like buy another Band-Aids. I don't know. I get like either so I am but I know I feel like so like we didn't get that It like invited like it's like one day or like yeah. And definitely yeah.
Like feel from it. It's like like you don't have like
yeah. I got that that is such a bad job.
Yeah.
I like every mountain, like I understand the things. Yeah, you can use it. I definitely
you have to like do the same.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. So that. The bus this way. So, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I think I got it in the original description. I think I didn't print out an additional copy of my prescription just in case. But I emailed Michelle about it, and she was like, if you're like, she didn't have it there. It's nice that it's like, yeah. I'm just probably my yeah.
Yeah, it's like really have the name of the medication.
Yeah.
I don't know about.
Michelle's getting a bag for Josh. Guys, started like a few minutes after, like 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Really? Yes. Really? I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I got friend.
But she'll be right out of like basic stuff. Yeah, I would like, I don't pay her quite a few times and like it's friends. He like really. Yeah.
They're right over there on the corner.
Perhaps your bed, like, yeah. What's the best thing about you that we?
They don't ride.
Yeah.
Tell me about.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. It's like for real. What do you think about diabetic health? I'll talk to you guys after. There's like a whole, there's a whole rundown. But I have all my stuff. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. I'm diabetic. Yeah, it's something I hope like you feel like yeah, I mean it's not great. Actually, like, yeah, I know. So they get like they're gonna yeah. There's just I'm right.
I'm very bad at
Yeah. I'll probably just call myself. I mean. I think one. Yeah. Well, Yeah, I know. So I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah, no worries. So, yeah. So whatever study you need to do, I'm also trying to do like.
You guys are still pretty much. Oh, we're just chatting. I'm gonna have to.
So that's like.
Like the way they're like.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I don't really here.
No. Guys.
Guys, okay, so here's what's up. We are gonna go outside right now. So here's the deal. Outside at 3:30, probably a little before, there's this huge presidential reception right there, which is totally awkward because they're saying goodbye to Kindred Murillo. So before that thing starts, we're gonna go out and we're gonna go on the grass up here, and we are gonna do this like short little exercise to kind of bond us and connect us. And then we have more stuff after that. So. Wait. Oh. That's true. We're
Next, bonding activities and then you.
Guys, we're gonna be kind of quiet and we're gonna go outside and lovely, beautiful women on the.
Jaden and Rosie, I know you're out there in the back box. Were there any other logistics questions or concerns that anybody had? Not addressed?
I just wanted to ask you, like, what cameras are you bringing?
I'm bringing an Olympus Tough, best cameras ever. You can take them without a housing down to 50 feet. They're amazing. They do awesome video, amazing macro. They're just a killer camera if you're gonna purchase one. I also have Olympus. It's the Olympus Tough. It's
How
just
much
a
are they?
Point and shoot. It's somewhere maybe $600. But let me know. I might not have enough time to do this. I was gonna say I might be able to do a deal with Backscatter in Monterey, but anyway, let me know. I can see if I can try to rig a deal if many people want it.
Bring a GoPro.
GoPros are awesome. The
Is
new
anyone
ones,
bringing a
oh my
GoPro?
god.
You're bringing
I'm
a
also
GoPro?
bringing a GoPro.
Yeah.
I'll
Are you
bring a
bringing a GoPro,
GoPro
Brady?
8 and 6.
Rats?
So I'll bring like 3 other camera devices that I can loan out to people. So I'm bringing
Can we do it while snorkeling? Like while
Yeah, GoPros are fantastic. I have some things are like.
They have like,
a
they have this
floaty-
cute little floaty that you can
Yeah.
put on top of the house.
You don't have a floaty?
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally, it's like bright orange.
Yeah, they're like so bright.
Yeah. So I'll have like 3 extra underwater camera type things, 2 GoPros and another camera that I can lend out.
Like getting into.
You don't have to bring one underwater. And then I'm bringing my phone.
For anyone who hasn't gotten international.
I'm doing the Dan, like annual, I did.
Okay. They do everything. So you guys, did you hear that? The Dan insurance does more than just diving insurance. Health
Yeah, it's a travel insurance plan that I decided to do, but.
That
there's a lot-
includes diving?
Pardon?
That includes diving.
I also did, they also are now doing a travel insurance thing.
Oh, so the
Just
diving
got my other
insurance
one.
does the travel insurance?
Yes, it's both. Like you have to, yeah, it's complicated. I mean, I'll send you the link. You guys
Stack
can read about
insurance.
it. Yeah, you can. And you should.
You get like double.
international health insurance, so I have to use it in advance.
I would like it if you do at least the Dan like basic membership. It's really a supportive thing. Because of the water stuff, because some companies get gamey about risky activities like going in the ocean. I mean, it's way safer than land, in my opinion. Yeah,
Do we need a lab notebook and then a fieldwork notebook?
the lab/field notebook is the
Okay,
same
it's
thing. I'll
the
show
same
you. We'll
thing.
talk
Okay.
about that.
Yeah, can you recommend a notebook?
Yes, yeah, we'll talk about that one in a minute. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Sunscreen, do you recommend me bringing it all like to enough for the whole trip or?
It's liquid.
Not if you're
In your
checking
suitcase.
bags.
Oh, in the chair.
Yeah, so I have a whole thing on one of those things
Yeah,
I
I
gave you
remember
about sunscreens. But I personally do bring everything I need for the whole trip, just because as a leader, I might not have time to go run and go shopping, like you guys might have a little more time on your free time, but I won't have any free time, so I'm bringing everything I need for the whole trip. And I also feel very strongly about like, let's, have sunscreens that are reef friendly and human friendly, and so I can't recommend enough wearing sun protective clothing in the water. I just bought myself a new pair of, if you haven't checked out this company, I think I'm gonna have to hashtag them. Waterlust, they're an awesome company, and they make like watertight and water shirts that are like printed with cool marine creatures. So I can't wait to show you my new water tights to go with my other ones. But so I've been like over the years started to wear tights in the water that block the sun because it saves me a lot of money on sunscreen. Yeah.
I know in the pre-dance meetings, you have to bring the water. Like that's necessary.
No, that was just I was showing you an example if you wanted. But yeah, we'll talk more about the notebooks. Any other logistics? Yeah.
You said, if we did want to bring sunscreen, it has to be like, environmentally friendly, like for the reefs. I wasn't sure which one to buy, so I like looked it up. It said Sunbum was one, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I think
because that's pretty
I'm
popular.
pretty sure, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure I gave you guys a whole list of ideas.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure I did that. Did I? I
It's
did.
in
Okay,
there
great.
somewhere, yeah.
And there's other resources that have, new ones that have come. I've just been trying out a few new ones this year that. So just do a little bit of research. It's just that, and there are, in other countries, there's sunscreens, like that are not approved by FDA here, so like there's some better products out there, but basically zinc based, anything that's mineral based is safe. There's a little question about nanoparticleized stuff, so basically if you can't see it, you know, like zinc is a coating, but I have a hard time with like the zinc based stuff in the tropics because it can act like, it just can feel like cellophane and so you get really sweaty, so I use those in the water and then I'll use something lighter when I'm not getting in the water. Do you want to say something about it?
No, I just heard that titanium and zinc are the best things in terms of not harming the.
Yeah, yeah, but if they nanoparticleize it, then we're starting to look at the research about that. Yeah. So if it's like, you know, hey, it disappears on your skin, it's probably nanoparticleized. We don't know yet. Yeah.
How safe is it to walk around alone in Bali, or should we kind of always keep the groups?
I will say that if you are, which I kind of hope you're not, but if you go to Kuta, I would not walk around alone. Otherwise, everywhere we're gonna be, everybody is going to know who you are. Everybody's gonna greet you as a human. You know, in some places, you know, you do have to be a little bit mindful. Like in Sanur, there's been some crime reported where, like, if you have a bag, like swinging like a purse kind of thing, people can grab them, like go by. There's some, so it's, I haven't heard of anybody getting attacked personally, but I've heard of bags getting grabbed. So,
Okay,
you know, you just want to
non-violent.
like keep your bag like more forward on. You don't have like a bag swinging or open, but I feel safer in Bali than I feel anywhere personally, but I actually tend to feel kind of safe.
There's just historically been such a profoundly intense spiritual component of living in every aspect of one's life, and that would include non-stealing of salaries that are too high, non-stealing of land. There's such a communal essence, and we'll learn all about the depth of that, but it's grounded in Balinesian culture. That said, we have lots and lots and lots of people who are not from Bali. We also have cultures that are changing. We also have huge economic pressures. And so, as Michelle said, just be wise, you know?
Yeah. And you know, if it's just like, it has happened, it was more than 15 years ago in a different country, but that some female student, like some students got drunk and a female student walked alone on a beach in another country and got gang raped. And then they had a whole meeting, like, this is something you shouldn't do. And then another student did it the next night. So it's like, you know, you guys know how to be safe here. Carry that safety out. I think most females are, and we can talk more too about like how to keep aware. But so that's just also, you know, yeah, you might go out drinking or whatever, but just like, you know, check each other too. That's what I'm talking about, building community. And you guys know, you probably know, like, hey, we've been at this bar a long time and I see you just grab your car keys. Like, you tell each other that, I imagine. So like, let's feel safe with each other and check in with each other. And if somebody says, but I do want you guys to always like let somebody know, hey, I really want to go through a run through the rice fields at 5 a.m. I'm going to do that. Just tell somebody that you're doing that the night before, your roommate, and so that if you're not back for breakfast, we know at least roughly where you went.
And there are poisonous snakes, like in the rice fields, like there are issues.
Well, you'll run on the paths.
I like snakes.
Yeah. So there's that, but yeah, and we're going to be really immersed in sharing and learning about Balinesian culture and honoring the ethics and the traditions there, and that will help you feel connected to the culture and the parts of the culture you want to be connected to. And there's been this huge ripple effect of, you know, millions and millions of tourists floating in and out of Bali, and, you know, altering culture in certain parts of Bali in particular. And we'll be tuning into all of that. And those are the places you're going to want to be more careful.
Yeah. I wouldn't take you somewhere safe. And it's also why there's some like intentionality about the places I've chosen to.
Other questions?
Hey, awesome. So,
Actually, one more, sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay. And
Oh.
as they come, as they pop up, as we're talking, you can always like interrupt whatever we're doing and be like, I just thought of something.
You two've been there probably numerous times, so I'm assuming you guys have recommendations for food.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I also, like, it was my intention to be there this summer a little bit. And so I haven't been there since 2020.
Right.
So or actually it was 2019, the end of 2019. So there's a lot of restaurants that couldn't make it. Like Darren was saying, like the shutdown hit them really hard because tourism became the base of their economy. And so there's a lot of restaurants and hotels that didn't make it. And so like some of my faves, I don't know yet, but I'll let you know. And I'll talk to the people that for sure. Yeah. We'll do that. Okay. So you want to do your stuff first?
Well, let's finish talking textbook materials, and I'll
Yeah.
go into mine and finish talking about your.
Yeah, well,
your
that's what, okay,
materials.
well, okay, so we'll
We'll do that.
yeah.
first, And then we can decide.
Why don't you talk about yours first?
Okay, so, okay, so Michelle has, how many of you have gone onto Canvas and tried to like connect into the classes? Everybody signed up for all their classes, correct? Or have you talked to Michelle if you're doing the independent study, if you've already taken one of the classes? There's about 3 of you, right? So if you need to do that, let's make sure you do that. So we make sure everybody signed up for what they need to be signed up for. Michelle's got this lovely single Canvas shell, which I'm trying to work on putting together, but her classes dovetail super, super well because they're 2 marine biology based classes, oceanography, marine biology. Mine are like Sociology 103 and Anthropology 113. So currently there's 2 different Canvas shells. And it's going to be interesting how we flow this. It's going to work. But we're studying religion, magic, witchcraft, right? And then we're studying family systems, which includes everything from some developmental psychology to love, to dating, to ceremonies, to LGBTQ plus culture. And obviously, you know, we're going to do some learning and experiential learning of that. Some of the stuff we're going to look at ourselves and the relationships we have in our own lives, and then look at how different things are playing out historically and in contemporary Bali. Okay, so those are the 2 classes, and then we're couching everything in this country. So we're going to search for examples in the country. In terms of stuff that you need, Sociology 103 has a main textbook called Marriages, Families, Relationships in the 21st Century. I am super cool if like 3 of you or 4 of you want to share one textbook. You don't each have to bring your own textbook, but each chapter is kind of thick. I don't expect you to read word for word, but I do want us all to be going through that chapter and you to do more than just glance at it for 30 seconds because you want to have that knowledge and to some degree in your head. So if you guys want to talk about today sharing a textbook, raise your hands. Okay, so let's get, how many of you have already bought the textbook and already have it?
I don't need.
Okay, or got it free on the promise. So I put it as a requirement for everyone who's on the promise because then you get it free. How many of you got free textbooks? Okay, would any of you who have free textbooks be willing to share with people who don't? Would that be okay? So anyone who already has a textbook and got it for free and is willing to share, raise your hand. Okay, so I have 3 people willing to share. 4. How many people need textbooks still? Okay, are those of you who need them willing to share with the people who have them? Okay, cool, so solved. Okay, cool. Then we have the anthropology of religion, science, and witchcraft. How many of you have that actual text? You need to get that. Okay, again, I am okay with sharing, but we need more than 3 or 4 textbooks. So how many people are on the promise and can get that for free?
I still like I have a PDF version of it that I can email. Is that okay?
Yeah, if you have a PDF, keep that PDF, but it'll just keep it for yourself because it's too hard to share the PDF version. Get the more of you need to get that actual book.
They work.
Yeah.
I have copies of everything except the oceanography, and I'm not gonna need them because I have an audiobook.
Okay, so we have an extra, okay, who else? How many of you need to get, so in my class, I will be really honest with you guys. I will not be stoked if you don't do any reading. If you think like and I've had my students and they're like, I never had to have a textbook. Like I'm a junior and I like never even read. And I'm like, and that's why you have an F in the class. Like you will fail. So like, peace out. I love like the cool attitude, but you do have to read. So I am definitely like academic enough to care that you know the material. Not word for word, not all the deals, but if you like skim it in 30 seconds, I'm going to figure that out at some point because you're going to be doing a lot of writing. So how many of you need to get the Anth book? Okay, how many of you have promise and can go get it? 2 of you. Okay, cool. So then if 3 of you get it, and how many of you have it? 2. So then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think a couple more of you need to get the book. Okay. Think about that because 6 books, yeah, you know, I don't know if you can afford it, get it. I just don't want you to expect that someone's going to be able to share their book with you. Yes.
I got the anthropology book and the sociology books on Chegg, and it was like $30. Like for the physical copy.
Who'd you get it with?
Chegg.
They rent it out like for cheaper.
Okay, and it's the actual text?
Yeah,
Because
so
what you don't want is the online version because we're gonna have some scattered. Okay, so game on. Get her resource. How many of you can do that? It's not, I'm not comfortable going on an intense program with no text because unlike Michelle, where you guys just go, you can go into the ocean. She has all her lab equipment there. I don't have that. And I need to be delivering these materials, particularly for any of you who are going to go forward. I want you to have some semblance of the knowledge. And it's not like you can be like, oh, can I borrow it at 2 a.m. because everybody else has the textbook till 12 p.m. Do you see my point? Yeah.
So you mentioned like you want us to have the physical text.
Yeah. I want you to have either share it. I want at least 10 copies of each physical text.
Wait, so you don't want it online? Like I can't read it online.
Well, if you have it downloaded on your computer and it's downloaded where you could read it off a computer, that's fine.
Yeah, like I was able to share it with people and it works fine, like the PDFs, like, and I got it for free. So I can like the actual like downloadable PDF actually works.
Yeah, here's my problem with PDFs, just to be clear. Okay. I'm going through, I can't outline it. I can't take it. I can't be like, what is going on? This doesn't make sense. There's something.
But if you have an iPad, you can with a pencil.
Yeah, so can you have something that you can write with?
Yeah, I mean like I can, well, I have like a notebook I can write notes on. But
Okay.
I don't.
If you could share with some live people, because there's just something about a live book, because remember, I don't have the lab materials, except we will be going to temples, we will be going to ceremonies, but that's not what's in the book. So we have to make the link. So it's different than a lab class. It's like I go nuts with my students who don't read the books and try and get through my classes. Yeah.
If you download the PDF to Google Drive and then you get the Doc Hub Google Chrome extension, then you can like highlight, add comments, underline, stuff like that.
See, she knows more than me. She's totally game on. How many of you could do that? It seems to me that it's just worth it because this class material will pay forward in your lives, you know? So that's my recommendation. I mean, we won't, the other issue is, and if you can't afford it, don't get it, but then tell us, you know? Okay, so let's raise our hands. How many over here have the social book or can share the social book?
Are you talking physical copy or does this
Physical copy. How many have a physical copy of Soch?
Well,
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many people are willing to get the social book super cheap? 3 more.
Brady also has one, he's not here.
Okay, cool. How many of you are willing to share your textbook? Because I think it's difficult to share with more than one other person. Okay, so figure out, for those of you that don't have it, see if you feel safe, because I can't figure that out for you. Okay? Okay, same with Anth. How many physical Anth copies do we have? Okay, and how many more people are willing to get it? Cool. I think we'll be okay there. Because it's not like we're leaning on the book every day. So I don't really want to put you guys out. But is everybody feeling financially okay? And physically okay with that plan? And we're going to kind of share. Cool? Done. Okay. So that, and then on the promise, I also had you guys get notebooks. So it's free if you're on the promise. And that's why I ordered all this stuff. Because I was like, game on. For these wonderful art books. They're like wonderful art paper and colored pencils and paints. Because who likes to just write words? Okay, not me. My papers all through college are like covered in designs and art. So there are going to be things where it's going to be more fun to paint, or it's going to be fun to paint and draw. It's going to add color to your lives. It may be the way you want to present some of your final work. So how many of you have promise art stuff that you're picking up? How many people do I have on the promise picking up free art stuff?
You can get free rice.
2 on the premise. Everything I put is required, you get for free as part of the promise. So get it. I would highly recommend. For those of you, and then we could share some of the art supplies. And this tells me I can bring some more art supplies. But I need everybody to bring, this is super important. You gotta bring, when I'm working with you, paper and pens, working notebooks every single time. For people who sit and they're like, oh, I'm putting it on my phone. No way, Jose. Like writing, and books and art, if you have the art stuff. So get yourselves an art notebook. Get yourselves some colored pencils or paints, okay? It doesn't have to be expensive. And we can share stuff, but bring that, and then bring plenty of notebook, pencils, and paper to write. Okay, everybody cool with that? Anybody bumming out on that plan? If you're bumming out at all, come talk to me personally. But it's gonna be like, it's what we're doing is we've got like totally different subject matter, and we're trying to bring it all together, and trust me, it is a lot. Yeah.
Did you want paints specifically, or can we just bring like any sort of like marker, colored pencil?
I feel like markers are not the best. I feel like colored pencils and paint are great. So like art book. What is the
No. But I am so jealous of you going to Bali, and I know you will have a life-changing experience. And I also want to ask you to be really cooperative and collaborative with your program directors, because for them, this is a huge responsibility and a lot of work. It's a labor of love, I would say. For sure. So make the most of the trip, and I wish I were going with you, I guess. Maybe I'll come. Anyway, well, nice to see you. Bye. Bye.
Have a good one.
So yeah, bring the stuff. You want to like develop your art capacity. You want to love like this is the land of art. Bali is the country where all of family life, all of spirituality, all of religion fits into the arts. This is art. So you got to kind of jump in the game here. This is like we're becoming artists. Yes.
We can go. Okay. Michelle's like had like the sketchbook requirement for like the field notebook. Do you have any certain like requirements for like the art paper? Like it can be like any kind of sketchbook.
Just buy stuff that the paint isn't gonna bleed through and the whole thing's like a train wreck.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no expectations except you need to become an artist like the Polynesians. And we're just starting with that experience. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, sorry if I took too long.
No,
but it's just like, yeah.
There were 2 other books on the list.
Yeah, there's the list right there.
So we need to get those, or were those just like the first few chapters you wanted us to read?
So yes, here's the deal. How many of you bought all 4 books and got them for free on the promise? You're good. Nice. Great. Nobody else needs to buy anymore. We can share those. Okay. We've got this Iceman book.
It's mostly
all of, I'm gonna scan the rest of the chapters.
Yeah, you've got almost all. You guys saw that link to in the Google Drive of all the chapters I scanned for you.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. And same with a brief history of Bali, we can share that. But it is, so I assigned a lot of reading before we even started today. So we have to be in a contract of total honesty because my classes run great when we're totally honest. I mean, I have some students and they're like, I haven't done anything. I'm like, Jacob, awesome. Let's work out a plan here, right? So total full disclosure, how many of you have not started any reading?
For your section?
Yeah, for my section. Okay, see, cool, we got a group here. So thank gosh we're not doing a big thing today. I want you to just read, given that reality, how many of you have done all the reading? Good answer, because I gave a lot. So let's do this. Can you by Tuesday?
Wait, sorry, I was trying to.
No, you're good. Can you guys by Tuesday have read the first chapter of Social 103, the first chapter of the Ant book, the first chapter of the Eisenman book, and the first chapter of A Brief History of Bali? So I need 4 chapters read by Tuesday.
Can you repeat the
Here, I'm sharing this with you.
The first.
first chapter?
This is what.
I'll put out an announcement in the Canvas shelves tonight that you'll get. So I'm gonna send each an announcement. And it will say for the Ant class, read these 2 books, and for the social class, these 2 books. And you're just gonna read the first chapter of each, right? And again, the way my syllabus explains everything, but I super love to give everybody A+, have no problem with that. I'm also super happy to do Fs. Like, it's just like, whatever. But nobody's gonna get an F here. We want all A's. We're like in community, so you gotta just jump in with us. And it's gonna go great. You don't need to worry about your grades if you fully participate. But in my class, it includes reading because I don't have an ocean. I have a culture. Yeah, make sense? Okay, any questions, or does anyone have any problems with that? Yeah.
So I had a question. So
Yeah.
we need a sketchbook for the lab class and then another sketchbook for your class? Or can they be the same, like big, thick book?
I think 2 books because, well, what do you think?
Oh, I was gonna say the opposite.
I'm fine with that.
I don't mind.
It'll be some fish and then some ceremony and then another
It
fish.
just depends on the length of the book, so I'll talk about what mine is gonna
Perfect.
require and then.
Good, love it. Love
then
that.
you can
And then we'll have
decide.
colors and da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. We'll go great. I love that.
And maybe we'll just bring some extra like heavier paper with us.
Yeah.
For
Sound good? But, this is super important for my class. Every week, I have 2 assignments that I was gonna give you today. We'll see if I get time. You are gonna be writing at least 2 to 3 pages a week, minimum, probably closer to 5. So you've got to have a notebook where because you're gonna turn it into me, I'll look through it, I'll give it back to you. So you gotta have it it can be a spiral notebook, but it's gotta be good enough that the paper's not just like falling out everywhere. Where you are actual writing for me, okay?
If people wanna do, like type it instead, would that be okay?
Yeah, totally. You can totally type if you don't wanna write. However, we don't have printers, so.
Yeah. You'll have to-
Yeah, but I generally do think for your value, you would appreciate a notebook where there's some drawings and then there's some writing and then it's kind of messy and like alive. It's like an alive thing as opposed to like on the computer where it's all neat and perfect, but it doesn't have that cultural thing. So yeah, does that sound good to you?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm more interested in like messy, engaged learning and instead of like neat, perfect, do you know what I mean? I'm okay with spelling errors and like, I think this, I need this, the book says this. I'm going to be asking that you back up some of your writing with some of your reading. So you can't just be text-free here. It's not a college class if it's got no connection to some history and some stats and some science. Does that feel fair to you guys?
Yes.
I'm also super into learning. I'm super into feedback. I'm super into you guys giving me feedback about the learning process because that's how we roll and there's lots of ways to learn. So, feed me information on what you guys need and I'll be quiet. Okay.
You don't have to be quiet.
Well, I am kind of loud, but if yeah, that's it on the stuff material.
So don't forget that all of that, like initial readings, we scan them for you, so they're available in that Google Drive folder for you. So at least while you're getting books, all those PDFs are there. And I'm gonna be a student in Bets's classes. I mean, sometimes I might
And I'm
have to
gonna be
step out
student
to deal with logistics, but I haven't finished all the reading yet for 2 feet either, but I got a good bunch of it done.
Yeah.
If I've already taken social work 3 and I'm doing projects in sustainability, can I still sit in on the lectures?
We
and-
want you to and add your value.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the way, can I just have a little more time? Is that so the social class, the way I've taught it always is more as an ant class than a social class, because we're looking, it's way more cool in my mind to look at what's going on with sex and gender and love and dating and relationship and ceremonies and transitions and grandparenting and fighting and conflict in families and resolution of conflict and development across the globe. Right? It's so interesting. It's like, what is going on in Japan right now with dating? Like, who's allowed to be LGBTQ in Sumatra or, you know, Borneo? And who's getting murdered for doing what, who knows what in the Philippines, right next door, a few miles away, right? Like, so when we have internet access, we are going to want to research some other cultures and then compare it to what's going on in Bali. And it's going to be tricky for all of us because I don't speak Melanesian. I don't even speak any Melanesian, which is a big bummer. But we're going to be observing and watching and listening and trying to get translations and trying to get material and then looking at our own family histories. Now, I have some assignments for you. This is really tough because like there's Kindred the president.
Okay,
We're still a
we
little
are
proud of
so
her.
much better.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, no. Props to the outgoing president.
Okay, so yeah, and entertainment was really cool. Who's also here, but anyways, the desserts will be good. So we are gonna have to go out there.
We do have to go
We
eat
have to go
somewhere.
eat some desserts.
Oh, for food.
We're all out of the food. Okay, what was I gonna say? Okay, so I have an assignment for you that I'm gonna post, and I'm gonna post it tonight. I want you to start by taking, I said 3, I'd really like you to take 5 of the bias tests. So there's the Harvard Implicit Bias Program, and they're asking you to look for your unconscious biases, which we all have tons of, and we're going to a different country, and we all have biases. Whether it's that we think that tall is better, or America is better, or whatever, pizza is better, whatever. We have our biases, so I want you to pick 3 for sure. Ideally 5, and then you're gonna write a page on your biases, and you're gonna bring them on Tuesday. Did you guys get that in on Zoom?
They may or may not be there. Black boxes or. Oh, yes, you did them, thank you.
So you're gonna do 3 to 5 bias tests. And you're gonna write at least a page on your biases. And we'll see if any of them come out in the Harvard bias test. Some people hate those tests, some people think they're helpful. It's interesting. And I'll send you the link to the Harvard bias tests. And so you'll have all that. I've already got the assignment, I just have to publish it for you. Yeah.
So on Canvas, you're posting all the readings and stuff that we need and all
Well,
that.
so here's the deal. I think what I'm just gonna do to make life really easy is I generally wanted on paper submissions so that you guys can turn things in a journal form, because it's going to be richer for you to have it and to go back and look, and do you know what I mean? As opposed to turning me in online Canvas material, because then I also have to have internet, and who knows where, if internet's going to be working or not. So again, I prefer everything by journal. Okay, and you can include drawings that way, and it can be kind of messy. And so I'd like that to be one of your first assignments.
All the assignments are posted on what we have to do.
So I would like to send them out in Canvas so that you'll see either a Soch 103 announcement with the assignment in it, or you'll see, and I'll be talking about it every day. I'm like, I just sent you the AMP 113 assignment. I just sent you, and it'll be like, today you guys, you're gonna write a page on this topic. Okay, so so we'll all be together every day. It's not like you're not gonna see your teacher or something, right? Like practically in the next room. So, so that's how that will roll. So I want you to write a page on your bias test. I have another assignment that I'd like you to do by Tuesday. And I want you to write a page about your ancestry. Where do you come from? What does that word ancestor mean to you? What does that mean in terms of family lineage? How far back do you know a concept of family? Do you know your grandparents? Do you know your great grandparents? Do you know anything about where you come from historically? No, I don't know this. Nobody shared this. I think a really weird, bad thing happened. My great grandfather was killed in the Civil War. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is that is your family ancestry, and that can include beliefs. We are totally fundamentalist Christian. We are Buddhist. We are atheist. We are spiritualists. We are atheists. We are Mormons. We are, look, we don't. I broke off from my family because this. I didn't like this. I didn't agree with this. This is how I've shifted. This is where the arc of my ancestry comes from. Again, I'm not like, you have to have this, this, this. It's your decision to think about what that word ancestry means to you. And I will tell you that word means a lot to the Balinese. It's a huge topic, which I'll go into. So I want you to start with those 2 assignments, due Tuesday. So you guys email me if you didn't get that.
We'll put it all out on Canvas.
And I'll put it on Canvas, but just so they hear.
Yeah.
Not rocket science. It literally, if we really get honest about things, it takes people maximum half an hour, usually 20 minutes. And it's just like, just do it. And put some thought into it so that when you write it, it's got some wealth to it. Yeah.
You want these handwritten, right?
I do. It's in your journal. These are your first two journal pages. Yeah. Are we good? Does that sound good?
Yes.
We ready? Okay. Awesome. Okay. I think that is where I will stop right now. I have a whole history on the lecture of Bali. And it's not just a lecture we're going to investigate. So you're going to have the 4 so I'm sending out a lot by Tuesday. We've got 4 chapters in 4 different books to have read. So you need to get the emails to be sharing text. If you don't have the text, I need that read by Tuesday. And I need the bias test and the ancestry paper written by Tuesday. Yeah?
Yes.
We good?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, all this email had the stuff that you needed from me, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go over. So I love the other page. Stop that share. Navigating multiple screens is always fun. This one. There. Emerging science stuff. There was this page, the equipment and books for marine science. So we were mentioning earlier that, I'll bring a library. I'm bringing an entire library of books and resources for you. Besides textbooks, I'm bringing field ID guides and Latin root words and books and Betsy also is bringing some that are extra reading material. So we'll have a little suitcase that'll be a library for you all, and we'll set up a sign out sheet so you can check it out. So I don't know, both of us love books, and I like don't go anywhere without my field guides and things. So they'll be helpful resources for you to have. But so the textbook is always a tricky question because I feel like they're really, really helpful, and there's some, and I work hard to choose good textbooks, which is why I liked the Garrison one, but I went with a free one for you. So I'll bring the Garrison ones, a couple of them, but it really helps. And I know that science can be really intimidating for a lot of you. It's like, I'm here to like demystify that and remind you that you were born innate scientists. I mean, have you ever met a 2-year-old that didn't ask you why? You guys are, so I'm just gonna bring you all back to 2. But also know that technically, these are two different classes, physical oceanography and marine biology, but you can't talk about an organism without understanding its environment, just like you can't meet a human without understanding her culture. And so it's the same thing. So these two classes are going to be so deeply interwoven that you won't realize that you're actually taking two classes. It's actually also my way of helping you have less material there, because you can get credit for two classes, and basically I'm just adding only a little bit more information than I normally do to marine science to elevate you. I'm also going to be using a lot of Bali and those things, like the example of Bali, which is about your first assignment. But so the textbook, it's really helpful. So it'd be great if a few of you have it. If you're somebody that science doesn't come easy, I really, really recommend it. Students who do read it tell me that it's been really helpful for them, those figures and stuff. Whenever I make PowerPoints or something, I'll put them into Canvas so that you have PDFs of my slides too, but just so you see. But the real heart of it is going to be your lab notebook. I keep saying lab/field notebook because it's your lab class for marine bio, but you're going to be in the field. And so I wanted to do, so I brought an example of one that we do sell in our bookstore here. This one, I really like this one. Actually, I didn't buy this one in the bookstore. I lied. I bought it at the place downtown. But this one is nice because it's mixed media. This is big. Like, I wouldn't want anything bigger than this. This is a bit bigger than I take into the field. But this is nice because it allows you to do stuff. Like, I like writing big. And so we're gonna do a little exercise, but like these are some examples of like what, some of the things that I'm doing, which we're gonna do a little work on it. But you could have one that's smaller than this, absolutely fine. I just insist that it has blank pages because I find that lines dominate, like it tells you where to draw, and I want it organic, like a good, and I posted for you, and I think I showed you at some point, like some cool examples of lab notebooks, field notebooks. They're all over the place, which is great. Please though, there's some, well, I'm going to talk about these, but there's some that are really small, like that's too small. Like, don't bring a really small notebook because you need the space. So it can be whatever notebook you're comfortable with. Some, like sometimes I have those ones that are like bound, those sketchbooks they sell in the bookstore too, that are like this big, that's what, like 7.5 or something like that. That works. I really like having a spiral because I can fold it back, and then just, I really like having a hard cover on it, or a hard-ish cover, because otherwise, a really floppy book, it's hard to do field stuff in. But so that's going to be really important. And if you have enough pages in it, it would fit probably, like this book, I would imagine would fit both of what I'm asking you to do and what Betsy's asking you to do, probably. Or you could dedicate one and just have, that's totally up to you. I'm going to be, your field notebook is going to be part of your grade. I'll collect them once when we're back in Abood the second time and grade those labs and then go back. So every time we do a lab, you're going to get a grade for, like, I was here in the lab doing it all. We'll talk about those details later, but then what you write is also part of that grade. So you'll get that in there. Okay. But the other pieces of equipment that are absolutely required for my marine stuff, or our marine stuff, is, well, colored pencils. So I brought some here today that we can use for this exercise. Hopefully we have time. But the snorkel gear, like your snorkel gear is literally part of the class. Like, you can't do this class without a mask, fins, and snorkel. So make sure that you've got those. Make sure that you test them out. If you need any advice about those, we already had a little conversation about fins, but and if anybody is having trouble purchasing those, talk to me. I have some resources. So let me know, and test them out though. Like, you can go out here, or you can go to Los Baños if you don't want to go into cold water. Then make sure it all feels good on your body. Yeah.
I have a pair of extra duff fins, which I like for freediving because they're mostly used for lifeguarding fins, but they're quite nice and they feel good using them for long-term use. Duff fins.
Duffin.
They're a little, yeah, they're duff fins, a little bit shorter. I have a 6'5" one and then a larger pair that I need to check the size on that people could borrow. If they don't financially have the means.
Thanks, thank you. So, yeah, let's talk to each other and,
Those are the ones you could just slide on.
Yeah.
well, I'm curious what they are anyways, love. Okay, so is anybody having trouble with swimming?
I need to still get my fins and stuff, so I was gonna ask you about,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
if you needed a certain type of goggles for scuba diving and stuff.
Yeah, a scuba mask, not goggles won't work. So goggles is like what you swim with.
Yeah,
But a scuba mask, a scuba / snorkel mask covers, it includes your nose in the equation. Because especially if you're scuba diving, you need to be able to put a little air into there. So if you go with just swim goggles, you could like really give yourself big eye hickeys or really hurt your eyes horribly if you go really deep, which happens to a lot of people in third world countries who are trying to dive with little goggles, because you need to be able to put some air into that space. The air gets compressed when you go underwater. So yeah, and you definitely, for your mask, to test it, you don't put the strap over your head, just put it up to your face and inhale a little bit, and it should stay on your face without falling off. And so especially us girls with thinner faces or whatever, I have a small head apparently, and so it's really important to get a mask that fits. If you have facial hair, sometimes it's good to have like some like cream, Vaseline, or thick coconut oil will melt there, but that can help if you guys want to sport mustaches or beards. That just helps keep a seal on it too. That's fine. So that's good. Okay, so talk to me if you're having issues with that. But do you guys want to do a little lab notebook primer?
Yes.
So I'm gonna. So I have paper if anybody hasn't yet. So pass that around. And then when it comes time for color, I brought some colored pencils. And then also, I'm gonna introduce you to 2 pieces of equipment that when we get to Bali, I'll carry these with me to Bali so I don't have to load your bags down. But you each are going to receive a dive slate and a magnifying glass. These are going to be yours for the duration of the program, and then you're going to give them back to me so I can use them for the next group of students. But this is going to allow you to take notes in the water. So it has a lanyard, so that you can carry it around, and I've set it up so it doesn't matter if you're left or right-handed. I like to have I'm right-handed, so I put my slit on my left hand, and then it has surgical tubing, which is a nice holster for a graphite pencil. Graphite pencils are the only ones I use underwater. I write underwater all the time with all of my dive research. Graphite, it's just what's inside a pencil, but with the wood of a pencil just gets waterlogged and it falls apart. Mechanical pencils are made of plastic, and they also tend to fail every time I look at them. They just, so these, I'll bring sharpeners. I was trying to get all your pencils sharp enough, but the good thing about these graphite pencils is that if it breaks, it's a crayon, so you can still write. And so I have some sharpeners, but anyway, just FYI, it's really easy to write on these lucite slates. And then each of you are also going to be given an eraser that's really good for erasing it. So even actually this in a pinch, like, oh, I didn't mean to say hi, you can do that. But when you're in the water doing a lab, you're going to have this with you, and you're going to have this with you. They both have lanyards, but this is another reason why I like to wear like surf shorts that have pockets in them. I keep my magnifying glasses with me all the time. Like, I have friends that just think I'm hilarious. Like, I mean, you never know.
Michelle's hot.
Right. So these 2 things are going to be there for you. This, you'll have a spare pencil. This one just doesn't, because I haven't finished setting it up. Okay. But right now, just to introduce you to your things that are going to be attached to, you'll all write your name on them. But I'm going to send around for now for this exercise. I'm going to send around some magnifying glasses. So everybody, yeah, pass those papers down. I get to need more paper. How many more pieces of paper do we need? I can just rip them out of my book here. It's fine. How many pieces of paper do we need? Two more colors. Here, send those down. Oops, send those down, please. And pass food around to eat too. Okay, I hope I brought enough. I thought I brought 2 bags.
Yours.
Well, yeah, Michelle, which one right here?
Anyone down here? I assume it comes this way.
Yeah, you'll make it.
A fake one or a fake one. I have
That one.
You need your table.
Giving me the choice.
There you go.
But now you have the choice.
Just messing with that. It's okay. I hate you so.
Rosie, Jaden, you wanna do this?
What should I do?
Do you have some blank paper or your lab notebook to do some sketching? Okay.
Yeah.
Great, and then grab an object near you that's kind of small, like if you have a house plant, pull a leaf off the plant or something, just like that. And I'm going to, so everybody just, I'm gonna pass these leaves around, everybody grab one of these that you're gonna use. Oops, sorry, just grab a leaf.
Oh, you want more help?
No, I'm just saying.
For you.
Take it off.
Did everybody get a magnifying glass? Oh, and I mean, if you want, you know, if you promise to bring these to Bali with you, you can, you know, carry them with you now to start. Because I mean, once you start looking at the world, like the universe is fractal. Like once you start looking at the details of things, it's just so cool. Like, I mean, you're gonna love it because it brings your eyeballs to a whole new awareness. I should probably eat that now. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna do something really quick. So I wanna,
I'm not over
my
this.
mouth.
No. Who's supposed to be just? I think it's either way.
Just for those of you.
I mean, it looks cooler.
I'm telling you.
That much. But I look funny.
I'm just for those of you that like visuals, I'm gonna do a little.
I started in here.
Quick visual.
Ow.
I don't even know where to go.
Those spiky things on. You can see that.
You guys need to leave.
Oh no, I lost my thing. Oh, wait. What happened?
Are we supposed to be drawing it right now?
Oh, I just started drawing it.
So, Michelle, could they start drawing?
Yeah, no, I had a really, wait, hang on, I screwed up and I screwed up the screen and now I don't keep it out, I don't have back out of my, I'm trapped in this like weird.
Oh my God.
Escape, you can hit escape and it will.
Do you want to explain it?
I'm gonna do some research on that one.
It's frozen.
I don't really know.
Just like I somehow clicked so much. Like some of this is screen where.
You
Oh,
like
this is
make it-
Takis?
I never-
peanut butter I'm like a crackhead for this Taki.
And
getting
that's-
closer. Huh? You trying to get in closer?
Okay, I'll go through it, but let me shoot. I just want the people on
Oh, maybe we'll not do
Zoom
that.
to see them. I don't know if they're there.
Yeah.
Are you guys here?
Popcorn's pretty boring.
Can you hear us?
Me scared. Got a light. You have one of these?
Literally every single.
Yeah, I know. I've used it for that also.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that's about pretty much the same.
You have the same exact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
just
like the
like
exact
blurry, I'm
same.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it says pineapple.
Make it just.
There's a lot of companies that make this shit. And a lot
Yeah, I
of
can
products.
just bring the.
Yeah, that's cool.
For that.
Yeah.
Oh, really? This is the second one.
Can't figure out how to, I can't see
Oh,
the
no.
screen, so we're just trapped in this weird world. But let me tell you something about, so for science, I'm going to ask you to do a lot of drawing also. And that drawing, I mean, it's a little bit, I mean, this is me being a little over the top, just because that's something I like to do, but you don't have to worry about things looking perfect, right? So there's something about a scientific lab or field notebook. And that is, it's really important to draw what you see. And it doesn't have to be a really good drawing. Like I can just, here, I'll just do it. I'm gonna slate. You know, I can, you know, say, oh, like I see people, so there's a person sitting there, right? I could do that. But that doesn't tell you anything about. I'm like, well, which person did you see? Well, this person, was wearing a hat. And the hat was beige. Does that give you a clue as to what person in this room I might have focused on? Right, so there's a detail there. And notice that I didn't do I did a quick stick drawing of a hat, but that piece of detail about the hat, that it was a flat brim, that it was beige, like those details, even though this isn't some fancy, drawing like this, it's providing detail and it's actually asking you to see detail in a different way. Yeah. To notice. All right. So don't worry if you're intimidated. I'm trying to demystify drawing here. Don't worry if you're intimidated by it. So one of the things that I want you to do, so this is just to get you started, is you all have a leaf. Everybody have a leaf? Okay. So what I want you to do is you can try to just freehand this leaf and lay it out, and you don't have to make it flat, but you can. Or if you're nervous about freehanding it, do this. This is a trick. You're not gonna be able to do this for a lot of the things that you see out there in the field because they might swim away. But what you can do to start here is just to put a little dot to kind of anchor you at some of this, edges of your leaf. So you can do this. A little dot, doesn't matter what color right now, pen or pencil. I like pencils. So you could do that. And then you could take your leaf away and just lay it nicely, and then you could kind of try connecting your dots and seeing, what kind of outline you make with your dots. Try that.
No FRC, no one has it, all the other clothes, nobody's out there that I can find.
Okay, so sorry, I'll see if I can. Oh. Wait, let's see. That's sweet. Oh, that's sweet. You turn. You turn. Let's see.
Is any work for me very long?
Yeah, not like.
No, looking forward to drawing.
Just tell yourself you're the best artist in the world.
No, oh, this is something weird. It's still weird. It still doesn't make any sense. I think.
Bro, can you see us?
Yeah.
Can you hear us or see us?
Alright.
Jada and Rosie? Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good, okay.
Okay, cool.
Oh, now you can see it, okay.
We totally miss you. We wish you were with us.
Okay, so here's where you are, and then I'll go into this a little bit.
My leaf looks more like a tree, I think.
That's okay.
Puppy ears.
So here, now I have some visuals if you need vision. But this is like connecting the dots, and you don't have to go into hyper detail. You want to get like the overall of this leaf.
Yes.
When you get to the place where you have your basic piece, I want you to, this is where you can use your magnifying glasses. And you don't have to use your magnifying glasses. It's really fun to like look at your leaf and see if there's like something about it that is a little bit different, or an area that you find really interesting. Like, oh wow, I really like how the tip of this has 3 prongs, or I wonder why this leaf here broke, or there's a bruise on it or something. And just do this thing where you guys have seen this many a time probably, where somebody makes a circle around a spot and then you make a zoom out little window for it. So choose some part of your leaf that you want to just focus on. It doesn't have to be something that's unusual. It could just be something that's curious. And this is why having a big piece of paper is helpful, because then you can zoom out, you can make your little zoom window anywhere, but you're showing where it was on the main leaf, and then you're showing some detail.
And being a non-scientist, can I just say, like, green things are the coolest on planet Earth. Like in Bali, the culture generally believes that green plants have spirits. All living things, including rocks, have spirits. And I love that. And then on another level, we live and eat on green things, and our bodies do much better if we're eating lots of green. And we forage the way many animals on Earth do. And how cool is it that we get to live on this planet with green? It's amazing.
You can use some like and then, I'm not gonna hurry you too much, but in case you're moving faster, then start writing some words. Like I showed you on mine, where I noted that, oh, no, this is great. So sometimes when you're in the field, when I'm in the field, like, literally, you guys, like I use the sheet for a lot of coral stuff. And sometimes I'll write, oh, yes, this coral was very weirdly blue, or, you know, it had, the tips were extremely white. You know, so you can put those details a little bit, and then start to add in too. And in addition to those details about what you are seeing, start to add your sense of wonder. Start to tune in to those questions in your inner 2-year-old that wonders why this leaf is so faded everywhere except for the veins, or where did Michelle possibly get these things? You know, where did they come from? Or wow, this leaf really reminds me of the maples that used to turn colors when I was on the East Coast. Kind of like challenge yourself. This is where we're talking about detail. So your lab, the field notebook, it's gonna be pictures, it's gonna be words, it's gonna be questions, and it's gonna be things that you come back to.
I'm pretty sure this is just a picture of the leaf. This one.
That's what I said, I haven't figured it out. Yeah, that's what I think you've got. I didn't talk about it.
Bro, that's crazy.
Thank you.
The mold looks like real.
I'm trying really hard.
I was like, I don't want all these people. I just had one of my paintings. Perfect.
Right.
Yeah. I did their annual thing. It was cheaper and then probably. Yeah, right, so. If you're getting there, next, I want you to add some color, I mean. If you don't already have colored pencils. We can send down some, put in this box and you can grab some pencils. Oh, yeah, anyway, some pencils. I guess I got some more leaves. But they're all green. Take your pick.
Well, it's perfect. Long, great.
Yeah. Think all the colors.
I thought we could mix blue and yellow.
Yeah. All right. Can I just send this colored pencil thing down? I can just grab some
These are the
pencils.
colors.
And
Bro, it's not even my
yeah, you
32
got sharing them, so it is gonna be important for you to bring your own, like Betsy's already requiring. Did you carve pencils and paint or?
I put on the required list on the promise pencils and paints. And I just think you're gonna be really happy. And the art store in Santa Barbara is on, it's literally just about a block off of State Street on West Victoria. And it's the coolest art store and they have stuff on sale and it's like heaven to go into that art store.
Yeah, and they might give you a. But also, I'm gonna tell you guys about some colored pencils that the kinds I love, which is what I did this in, for these, and so, like, see how this picture looks like a watercolor? It's because it is, but it's colored pencils that then you dip a paintbrush into water and then you can choose and it like soluble, so I have a little tin of those that I bring with me all the time, because it's really cool, because it allows you to do both. So I highly encourage those.
What are they called?
They're just called like water soluble colored pencils or art pencils that turn into watercolor.
So
yeah, I have a couple of boxes of those, but I I love them because it gives you the freedom to do both things.
Oh, thank you.
And can we just give a little snaps for Michelle for bringing snacks today? Like I did not do it, she did it the last time too, and like super generous, Michelle.
Clearly I'm eating it all by myself.
No,
I'm
no,
like
I-
interrupting everybody, like, excuse me, I need a toffee right now. Strawberry.
And I kind of feel like,
Strawberry? It's organic. They're getting a little fat, so you guys gotta eat strawberries.
Whenever you're done, no worries.
get them on.
Hi. That's yellow.
Thank you so much, Pika.
You're welcome.
And then snapped it. Oh well, now I have two. I guess I know those don't hold up to any force. No.
I'm borrow this.
Yeah, that's all you.
I know for sure.
Were we supposed to write? Like otherwise?
Just any.
in the cooler if anybody wants to have it.
No, that's awesome.
Half the background.
Let's keep you here.
That cooler is really cold.
That dark green. Right, I know you're preferred. Thank you so much. You wanna help me? Yes, please. No, I'm fine.
Oh, for sure.
Bill has one to do, he's gonna do interesting things for you. I just feel like great, because I was gonna do that, but he's way better.
Do you, oh, well,
No, have him do it.
I,
please.
it's like the rock,
I love it.
not the oceanography part. Just rock.
No, no, I'm glad to know that.
Are there volcanoes on Bali?
Pardon?
Are there volcanoes on Bali?
Yeah.
So
In
the
fact,
whole area. is called the
it'll
Ring of
erupt
fire.
over there.
Really?
Oh my
What?
God, like the history, like part of the reason Bali is what it is because we're going to the place with the highest degree of plate tectonics
Oh, no.
anywhere in the world ever of all time.
That's so cool. Are we gonna go on any big volcanoes or is that a
Well,
safety hazard?
You travel up and over one, but all the islands, I mean, all mountainous areas are volcanic.
Okay.
And the entire culture is centered for honoring Mount Agun, this volcanic mountain, because it is so powerful. And it's erupted at the very time that some of the biggest sacred ceremonies have gone on.
Yeah, there's sacred, it's like stories and spiritual
yeah.
things
Oh,
about the volcanoes.
Oh. I mean, this
Wait,
is.
see.
Just do it, just do it.
I'm excited.
Oh.
Are we gonna do a full day hike? Ever?
Well.
A full day hike with backpacks?
Yeah, it looks good. I would do that.
Yeah, can I? Okay. I'd love to go on, like, any, like, whatever highest difficulty hike I would love to do.
Yeah, last time
Like,
we,
as far as you can go, I don't know if you're a better hiker than I am, maybe. I know, you're more experienced than I am. I'd love to do like the hardest possible hike for. Oh, cliff jumping, is it cliff jumping too?
there is a volcano that
I
you can
love
hike.
cliff jumping.
We did it last time,
White.
but I.
Like one.
Underwater forever.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah.
Apparently scuba divers died in there.
Oh,
Wild.
that's a-
Yeah.
No, I love jumping off cliff. Apple was good. No, it's like.
Yeah.
See you just. No, don't Brady, that wasn't me. Will you cliff dive or cliff jump with me?
But there's little thorns throughout the leaf.
There, I will reach my limit, but we won't really have cliffs where we are. So,
I wanna do a little.
yeah, you guys can do, you can go to Uluwatu after the program and swing and surf and jump off cliff.
Are we gonna be surfing? What about off days weekend?
Yeah, it's just that,
Like after-
note that
after nursery
intentionally
for that, like just like
chosen
that.
calm places.
Get out and not go in the water.
Well, I was gonna say they're active fins, but I know
There
they're.
will not be waves in.
Just like as soon as you hit the water or.
It also might be a little washed out, maybe on New Zealand.
You'll be better off just finishing it and
And just going to Uluwatu.
Okay.
Yeah, Uluwatu is better. I mean, there will be some.
And I did, and then I ruptured my eardrum, and I came home and I was like, I gotta go to doctor, and they, like, I went to the doctor and they were like,
A surf day trip, right?
Yeah.
"Let me do that." And I was like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I just slowly
Heading with us?
put it in and
You will?
She's actually
Okay.
gonna stay on the surface while we're down there. Oh, totally. Scared of underwater.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going? Good.
We have just a few more minutes.
Did
so-
you,
So you guys put in questions, like also now, like you've added some like questions, and so one of your tasks in your field observations or even in your lab observations, I'm gonna be pulling stuff out of the ocean sometimes so that you can see it and look at it. I'm also gonna be, one of the things in your notebook is gonna be putting in questions about stuff, because one of the things that makes me really sad about the status of American education today is that you have not often in many of your K-12 experiences been given the gift of respecting and elevating your critical thinking. Critical thinking is just simply dropping into a questioning state. Why is this way? Why did you just say that way? Huh. Is it really true when Michelle said that all herbivorous fish eat algae? Is that really true? Is that an accurate statement? So I want you to question. I want that all the time. And so one of the beautiful things too about stopping and drawing, it's forcing you to follow lines. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this crab has a spine coming out right next to its eye. I wonder why. Maybe it's defense. And you start thinking about all of the possible reasons for it. Those questions become the seeds for so much good stuff. So, and it's okay if you have unanswerable questions. My whole life is in pursuit of unanswerable questions. How can I save coral reefs? I'm hoping I can answer that someday. But I might not be able to, you know, like all of those questions are so valuable. There's no stupid questions. I wonder why leaves are green. Why is the sky blue? Like those questions are the fodder for so much, right? And so this is what I really want your lab/field notebook to be, is like, I'm bringing microscopes, I'm bringing dissecting scopes and compound scopes. We have, you know, your magnifying glasses that you're going to have with you all the time. So we have the tools to see the smaller world, which is beautiful, and see detail that'll blow your mind on a daily basis. And that this is what this is all about. So how do you guys feel about it? I'm seeing some really awesome. Great.
To be honest, I feel like we are on this trip for 60 days.
It's not
and
enough.
It's not enough. But it's like a lot. I almost don't know. I mean, count your pages, because if you have 2 or 3 writing assignments from me a day, it can be on a notebook, the writing part. But if you're doing any painting with me, I think 1 sketchbook be enough, but this is a really good size. You know, I wouldn't do much smaller than that, to be honest. You know, and then I would do a thick writing notebook, thick, or 2. I think I put 2 on your required materials for the promise, so you get those for free. I put paintbrushes, I put a little bag to store your paints, coloring tools. I packed everything I could so that whoever can get that for free gets it for free. I think but then bring it, then the writing of it too. Yeah, I think that should be good.
So these are kind of just some helpful things, and I'll share this PowerPoint with you, and you can play with this exercise. I mean, you could use anything, but the key is like accuracy, you know. So again, like if the snail isn't a perfect circle, don't draw it as a perfect circle, write it kind of wonky, or say, well, actually it was more oblong than this. You know, like doing it big. Some of you might have already noticed that, oh, it's like, wow, you got the whole page and you just stuck in the corner. That's okay, but you can use it, you know, and the bigger you make it, wow. Yeah. Whoa, yeah. So it really allows you to drop in. And color is really, really important. So that's why the colored pencils are awesome. And it, like I said, if you're in the field, you might be doing your project on something and you're like, oh, you know, this fish, oh, it had blue right by its eye. You know, you'll see like this kind of thing on my slates all the time. I'll be like, you know, B for blue, and then this is yellow, you know, and then I'll come back later. That's a mess, but I know what I wrote. And then when I get back to land, I'll write it in my lab notebook. I'll feel it out better, and then I'll look it up, you know, whatever I want. And those details, all these little words and like seeing lots of words, super awesome. And then you can also go back and look stuff up and explain them. So one tactic I'll have you know for field notebooks is like you could have, let's say this was a lab. Can I borrow your notebook for a second? You are using the first page, but good idea to like leave a first page blank so you could write like a table of contents later. But you could, you know, let's just pretend this is a page of paper right here. You could do like, this is what you're filling out for the lab. And then you can leave this page blank and then go in and like, oh, I just borrowed this book and I read about leaves. I discovered that it was from this tree and here's some information about it. So you can use more space. So don't be afraid to like leave space, you know, or you can do it like Ty's done, like the top of the page or half the page or something could be that for you. All right. So use it up and that's fine. And you know, if your notebook's not big enough in the end, we can always go and buy some more notebooks at some point. You know, it might not be as nice, but you know. Good?
Yeah.
Anybody have questions or concerns? Awesome. I really love that. So this is a great intro. Hey, look at you all. This is amazing. You're already two artists already, everybody. Okay, awesome. So very soon, hopefully, I'm kind of worried about the fact that this party might have made it hard for
I think so.
some of our, you know, so the students from 2019 are going to show up soon. And forgive me for checking my phone because they are texting me, but I want to make sure they can find us. But that's just going to be a space for you guys to hear from them. But while we're sort of wasting time, not wasting time, but there's one thing I do want to go over your first assignment. So you guys saw that assignment that I gave to you. And that's the ocean community assignment. So I put it up as an assignment in Canvas so that you have all that information there, but it was in the email and you guys all saw your assigned species. Yeah, and I saw Brady even like already did something, which is awesome. Yeah.
So I was looking up, doing research on my assigned species, and there's a lot of variation in description of the species from website to website.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell like what's reliable. So I look up like what's the difference between two different species, and some would say like I have a barnacle, so it's the little, I forget the name of it, it's the little like covering for the actual barnacle that opens and closes. Versus some websites would say there's like a little hook on the end of the it's sort of the seed, but it's basically the fimbriae or something that comes out and feeds for it. So there's a bit of variation between two different texts as to like information regarding the species and identification.
Yes. Okay, so this is such a great question because there's so much we could talk about. But one of the issues is reliable sources. And the internet has all the information in the world. And as we know, not everything up there is true and not everything up there is necessarily accurate. So it's really important when you're looking at a site, a website, a blog, anything, there's a lot of great stuff in there, but some people, you know, like look at who wrote this. Always think when you're looking at a source, who wrote it? What is their motivation for writing this, right? Oh, I lost the election. Huh, what's your motivation for saying that? You know, and what's behind it? So also some of you have so this is your introduction to like what I did is really intentionally chose organisms that you're very likely to see in Pamutron when we get up to the reefs. And I chose things from each of the branches of the tree of life, which we're going to be exploring. We'll explore the animal tree of life most strongly. And so it's kind of taking you through the gamut and giving you an introduction to just identifying, using your notebooks. Like I really encourage you use your notebooks to like start creating this, and you might even find that that's what you want to share. When we all get together and do this and do these, share them with each other, you might make PowerPoints, or you might just want to like, here's my notebook, and kind of hold it up so everybody can see it. You know, we're a small enough group that you could, or you can take pictures of it and make a slide out of that so we can put it. I'll have a projector, a portable projector and a portable screen. So we'll be able to do that. But you'll notice that some of you have a genus species. Oh no, I'm gonna get distracted. Thought you guys would have been able to. Oh, you're here. You guys are amazing. No exercises that they've done. So introduce these in a second, these few in a second, but sit down and there's in that cooler, there's soda waters and apples are floating around and snacks. So some of you have like a genus and species. Like Sydney, you have the buckshot barnacle and it's Thamylus myolensis. And you said that there's a lot of variation. And there's some organisms that we don't know a lot about. So it might be that one person is writing a website and they're just focusing on like its distribution.
Yeah.
Another is curious about like, oh, here's, its reproductive system. So part of it is that.
Okay.
So you could kind of integrate any information that you want about it. I gave you like where it is in the tree of life. All that's really easy to find. How to identify it. So you want to be the one to say, okay, look, here, I made this picture, and so, I want to identify this leaf or whatever, this fish, this barnacle, what to look for. So if I want to tell somebody how to go find that, that's what I'm going to do. And then, specifically where it lives and if you can find. So some of you have a specific thing and then some of you have just a genus, like who's got Halimeda? Aspen, you have Halimeda. I didn't choose a species of it because there's so many species of it. And honestly, I don't even know which ones are in that bay. I kind of forgot. So, you're just talking about it in general and there's so much about it in general. You don't have to worry about a particular species, but if you find some cool stuff. So there's info on all of these and this is going to give you, so this assignment will do like present it all together and I can't remember where I said we're going to do it in a booth. I think or a Pamukra on the first day, but also for your final capstone projects, you're all going to be focusing more deeply. So it's kind of like a little teaser for your final projects. Okay. And so this might be a chance when you see an example from the whole tree of life, you might suddenly realize like, oh my God, I never even thought about calcareous green algae. Like I didn't know that was a thing, but now I'm suddenly so curious about it. And I want to understand, like, really, is the sand really made out of that? Whatever. So you might get introduced to something that you never thought of before that you're going to fall in love with. Okay, good. Questions? Can I introduce my friends to you? Okay. Thank you for coming. Okay, so this is Ari. Hello. And if you want to go to the Philippines, you have to talk to her about all the places. And so all these students were with us in 2019, the inaugural trip. Emma and Callie, who really did win my personal award for the like most amazing field notebook ever. I almost stole it from her. I was like, sorry, I lost it when I was checking it. That's fine. So amazing people. So I don't know if you can sit wherever you want. This is just totally open forum. You guys can talk about like any advice. You have, if you have like, oh my gosh, if only I had known, or if only I had brought this, or what would be?
Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto-Bismol, Imodium.
For sure. Any stomach medicine that you have, if you don't have a sensitive stomach, bring it.
Motion sickness, even for the drives.
Oh, for the boat, every day.
Lots of sun protection, attitude, bug spray.
Shoes that can do water and land, all shoes. And I bring only shoes that can do water and land.
I mean, I'm sure your list was pretty elaborate. It was kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Michelle
suggested it, get it. Don't have it, buy it. It's worth it just to have. What's up?
What do you mean water shoes?
Okay, so like
I have a pair. Water sandals, like
Okay.
anything that can go, that's versatile.
There
that
you
can
go.
Back and forth. Yeah,
I shouldn't be bringing out like Jordans or something like that. That'd be the worst idea.
They're gonna not dry.
Don't bring anything that you're scared of getting
Dirty?
forever.
Okay.
Take minimalist.
Yeah.
Also, really try to avoid tank tops.
Or have a t-shirt in your bag
At
or
all
something,
times.
cause you
Anytime
can't
you go
go
out.
in temples.
Really
with-
huge.
And you'll have sarongs that you have to wrap around your.
You can't show your arm.
Your shoulders when you're in
Just your
specifically.
shoulders.
Yeah, so even I wore tank tops, but I had a bandana that I would wrap around as well as a sarong that you wrap around your bottom half.
Yeah, and a sash. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
and the sash.
But yeah, I mean, I wear tank tops all the time because I get really hot in the tropics, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sporting already our
Wow.
sarong situation. Yeah.
What was the best food that you guys got?
You?
No, best food.
Food.
The fruit.
Yeah, the fruit.
You'll try a fruit that you've never even seen before, and it's the best fruit you've ever had.
Balinese curry.
Yeah.
You'll learn
Yeah.
how to cook it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Like on the
Chicken
street?
satay. Nasi goreng, everything, honestly. I can go wrong.
With the shower situation, so I've heard that people's hair falls out because of like the hard water. And so I bought like a shower filter. Is like, what's that?
I don't think, I mean, I didn't experience
So
anything like
a lot of the times you're gonna be like
You're also in the
jumping
ocean.
in the pool,
So
jumping in
much.
the ocean. The shower kind of ends up being an afterthought. A lot
Yeah.
of the times the shower, like they're
so nice. They're so nice. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about the water.
they
I mean,
are
don't drink
all
it.
outdoor showers, so I would suggest bringing like not shower shoes, but like flip flops, like, 'cause, you know, you don't wanna go out there barefoot in the middle of the night.
I did. So you can choose.
Yeah, bring a water bottle to brush your teeth, just to make
Yeah.
it easier, yeah.
I
Some
love-
people like really could do this with water, but it's like you don't know until you try and then you
Yeah,
wanna
that's
miss
true.
the snorkel.
It also varies.
If you
like,
brush
all
your
the
teeth
time.
at the sink, like,
Exactly, it's not worth
don't be
it.
that guy.
Yeah, an insulated water bottle also for your own water is really good, because that will get hot.
Yeah.
How many times in the ocean a week? Like every day?
At least
I did
2 to 3
4
times
times.
every day. At
I mean,
least.
unless
At
you're,
least.
if you're in a pool, unless you're in a.
There's no
Yeah,
ocean
that's
until
true.
right
Then you're in a pool.
But then you're like
Yeah.
walking around town.
Or in a
so, like,
waterfall.
that is the time where you kind of want to consider having some good walking activities. So we'll do a lot of walking around the pool. You're gonna want like, not just like a wallet, but like a little pouch for.
Yeah, like a
gold,
fanny pack.
bills, Coins.
Oh, fanny pack, you
A little
recommend?
fanny would be perfect.
Okay.
Better than a purse, better than a backpack.
Yeah.
Cause then you can like, you know. Yeah.
For bigger.
Camel pack also is really good, but it's not as good for cold water.
I feel like people told me to bring a lot of cash to like exchange. You don't really need to do that. You can bring some, and then if you have a card that you can like get cash out with, that was way easier than just like worrying about the wallets and like fraud and
Yeah.
bash places. Like, yeah, that was easy.
But you do wanna make sure that you use an ATM that's like in a bank,
Oh, yeah.
not just one of those rando ones that's on the street, because people do jack those, take your card. Yeah. So, go into a bank.
Yeah, I think we mostly just ended up getting our money out in food.
Yeah.
We just have it.
And then
Yeah.
we just take out a bunch at once.
Yeah, that will like all go together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We'll
you guys
do
are
that.
some best friends. Like, we didn't know each other before, and I see both of them at least,
Yeah,
3-4
actually,
times a week.
We only hang out with like our.
No,
we don't see their friends, but she doesn't. She doesn't.
More like the friends, the groups of friends that were our previous groups of friends. Now we all know, like, all of our lives are intertangled because of that woman right there.
No, I hang out with them too.
That's true. Yeah, we
bring
do.
the eardrops.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm eardrops. Bring your own.
Yeah,
I
I
need
put,
them.
I put my little recipe on there, or you can just buy the swimmer's ear thing, but I also put my recipe for how to make it. For you on my list.
We ever gonna need like nicer clothes? Like, did you guys ever go to like a fancy restaurant
yeah.
or out?
But it's still like a skirt and a little top, like, cause it's still really hot. But yeah,
Would not suggest bringing like.
I consider this nice clothes. I dressed up for you.
yeah. Don't bring jeans.
Yeah,
Bring jeans.
just like.
Like
you
at all.
guys want,
You literally won't even
like
put them on.
linen pants.
Yeah, that's good. But even then, I bought my flowy pants there.
That's true.
You can do a lot of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
go shopping.
Go shopping. It's great.
Oh, I'm trying to say
Also,
something back.
don't like jump and be like running to everything like the first day is gonna be really overwhelming and hard to like hold yourself back, but like
spend the time, like cleaning
Oh,
yourself,
yeah.
like especially in food.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
probably
it-
where we get the
you
most
get
shopping
lost,
done,
so
but definitely pack light. And then anything you need, just have to.
Yeah, you can get, the things that you need the most are like ocean stuff, like a
Ocean
good
stuff?
bathing suit, a good rash
And
guard.
stomach
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you like wish you would have known before you went?
You get stung by jellyfish way more than you think.
And mosquitoes.
But
Yeah.
it's
not that bad.
It's
It's
not
not-
that
yeah,
bad.
it's not
You'll-
like-
You'll learn about it.
It's just really surprising at first. You'll get used to it by like the fourth.
Jellyfish
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it just happens.
How many swimsuits did you bring?
3? I think I had two pieces and one piece. Because when you're snorkeling, I also bring like spandex shorts, because when you're snorkeling, your butt is up and then you get sunburnt on your butt.
And it's culturally kind of not cool.
Yeah, you shouldn't like
avoid
avoid thongs for sure.
I've got to
More
require that
coverage
you
is
do
better.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring myself. No, I was talking about I like.
I know, that's something you gotta hold off on.
Yeah, you can wear it in the pool at the hotel.
Yeah.
You guys kick it in the pool?
You want weekend, so like 3 days. Yeah.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah.
And how much, like money and like willpower you're willing to.
You should all download an app called maps.me and it's like, it's an offline map. So then you zoom into Indonesia and you download Bali. And then you have the whole island. And then on that app, it shows you viewpoints and waterfalls and trails and all that kind of thing. And then you can just explore from there. Yeah, for sure. Maps.me is awesome for like traveling in general.
Did any of you scuba dive?
Yes, I got certified there
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
It's a reasonably priced.
It's
Yeah. Way cheap.
Oh,
so
okay.
cheap.
How much?
Wait, that's I laughed on that. Like last time I set up a whole like dive
Yeah.
class, cause there was like 25
There were
people
a
that
lot of
wanted
us.
to get scuba certified. It took a lot of time out of our program, so we pulled that section out. So you're not gonna have time to get your certification during the program. Probably not.
Yeah, you could
Oh, yeah,
definitely
go
go a
early.
week early and get certified. It
Oh.
would be worth it.
And
Right.
Michelle will be happy.
Yes.
I have to fly out.
Oh,
I can't leave.
Well, I mean, like if one of them goes early and gets her.
You could just
That's
move
cool.
the group.
I can try to look into it, but no, it's, yeah.
But it's super fun. I mean, snorkeling is also super sick. Like you'll be satisfied by snorkeling for sure. But scuba diving.
Are you guys going to do?
Yes, we're going to all the places. We're just spending less time on food, more time on Mudron and more
Great.
time on new stuff.
Amazing, perfect.
I took your feedback.
That's
I just took your feedback and you
Yes.
guys get to benefit in your schedule from their feedback.
Yeah.
What scuba diving school did you guys go to?
It was Bali Divers. It was in the resort that we were staying in Mudron called Tamansari, which is right next door to the one we're staying in this.
Oh my God.
Tamansari wanted to charge.
Oh, really?
Got you next
Okay.
door.
That's
So I'll connect with them and see.
If we can do it.
I mean, it's gonna be tricky because you need like multiple full weeks.
Well, not to get trained, but to go on a trip, if you're
Oh,
already
yeah,
certified.
yeah, totally. No, that's easy. When
Yeah,
we're in
that's-
Mudron, it doesn't
you
like
have
need to go
beach
dives.
Yeah. I
Sweet,
can do it.
okay.
Yeah. Like,
Are they way cheaper too? Are they way cheaper just like a trip?
Oh my god.
How much do
I mean,
you?
for like a beach time?
We'll set up, we'll be able to do beach dives, then we'll wanna do a dive or two at Menjongan for the.
Oh my God, yes. If you're gonna dive,
Cause it's a
please
world
dive at that
class
island.
site.
It's
So we'll do
the
that in
best.
one of them.
Okay, cool.
Maybe like a man.
Cool.
Do you travel after?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I traveled for like 3 more months after.
Where'd you guys do?
I went with actually 2 other students to like all over Southeast Asia and then back to Bali to dive more and then Australia and then home. Here.
Me and another student went to the Philippines.
Oh my gosh, I wanna go with all you guys.
Well, you're gonna have the same awesome experience. It's gonna be great.
And all the people that you were traveling with, you didn't know before,
Mhm.
and it was just an idea that came up. And I distinctly remember too, Emma's parents came and visited.
Yeah.
And, which is totally fine, and then I like fell in love with her parents, and I'm like, oh, hang out
Yeah,
with you
well, they
guys.
have like mutual friends.
Yeah, and then
so-
I remember how much you were
You know,
like,
my family.
take all this stuff home, you know, and so condensed her stuff into a small backpack.
Yeah, yeah, I convinced them to take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beautiful
that was
patterned jackets I keep trying to patch back together, but they're totally falling apart.
Yeah. Favorite memories? Oh god, there's so many.
My sandwich.
Yes. That's all she can say.
The helmet urchins, that was such a good moment. There are so many.
Yeah, it's like hard to talk about. Cause it's like, did we really do that? And we did,
Oh my god.
so.
The mangroves, I don't think I'd ever seen mangroves to that extent before. That was really, like alien, other planet, so cool. That was so cool.
Was it hard to balance all the schoolwork with all the activities and all the social cool people you're meeting?
It's definitely the
What do you
hardest
think
part.
our answers are gonna be?
That's like the hardest part. You guys gonna be so busy with school. Actually, for like a week after I got back from Bali, all I could like think about was like, I can't believe how hard that all was to like do in like that short amount of time. So I think my biggest piece of advice when it comes to that, stay on top of it and in your downtime, like plan it out if you would here. It's going to be really hard to like not just sit in the pool all day.
If you do it,
your homework.
yeah, well, and if you do it in groups, it's also, you
Yes.
know, then you like motivate each other.
But
Then
just
you
like
don't-
carve out some time.
And
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a bunch of group assignments that you guys can just do together.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that is better. Yeah, cause that was hard for me, was the individual like writing. When we had to do the individual journal entries, that was like, I have to pay attention to just my inner thoughts and not this whole beautiful everything around
Well,
me.
especially having to like write down our observations after, like you're
Yeah,
just.
that's true. Maybe bring a notebook with you, like in your backpack and just,
Oh,
or
yeah,
on
I
your
would-
phone and your
I
notes
wanna
app or
know,
something. That would be
Messages
good.
is for, like in the field, they're kind of like waterproof, you can like,
Yeah.
I've got still some extras of those that are partly filled out from other classes.
I mean, I have like 3 classes. So like, yeah. As long as like you're organized somewhere. A lot of the times what I would do if you're like out on a boat, you just write observations in your phone, so you at least like have them. And then just like go back later.
Yeah, or take a picture of
it. Yeah, a lot of photos. Oh, yeah. GoPros, get all the footage.
Yeah, if you have a camera that can go underwater, bring it. Do not hesitate.
No drones.
Even Cece, but she got the whole like iPhone underwater
Oh, yeah, that
like
was
setup
cool.
thing and keep it like this every time. But it was so worth it. It was so worth it. It was awesome.
Get acquainted with your snorkel. Don't like let the first time you put it on be in Bali.
Water's pretty clear and it's not too cold, so you can try it out.
Yeah.
You guys just missed the earthquake too. Sorry.
Ari, go ahead.
How much would you recommend a snorkel? Cause I freed out all the time, but I don't get snorkels.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need a snorkel. I'm sorry.
But you're less about like, it's about longevity.
Yeah.
Cause
So
when
you
you're
can
making
totally
observations
be
and you're counting fish.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Although it's pretty shallow in a lot of places. So you're gonna be like.
Sitting
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you need a snorkel.
There's coral reefs.
Yeah. And like this
Crusty one, $25.
It's worth it. Okay. Yeah. I even brought fins with me and then used, but like in my travels afterwards, I used my snorkel and fins the entire time. It was a pain in the ass lugging them around, but it was worth it.
Where'd you put them?
I had a backpack and I had straps that went around the whole thing and I just like shoved them in the straps on the outside of my backpack. It was like my backpacking
If
setup.
possible, definitely keep your snorkel gear in like a.
Have a snorkel bag.
A breathable
Yeah.
snorkel
You got the
bag.
best bag.
Yeah, the mesh.
I was trying to figure out
Mesh.
what bag that was. I was like, I don't know why the bag.
You'll let you know. Go back to it.
A little mesh backpack the idea.
Yeah.
That's like literally where it was.
Yeah, hers,
But
I had the
your
little
water
one and
bottle-
she had the one that was like the perfect size. I have like a small one that fits my massive fins. And I also have a stupid enormous one that fits all my dive gear that's just too big and stupid. But hers was like a fixed size and I was lusting after it the entire trip. And it was pink, it's cute. Cause that's how we roll.
Yeah, gotta stay covered. You know how pink are. Yeah, my twins were pink.
And you never lose them, huh?
No, we always know where you are. Yeah. Yeah.
How comfortable is everybody in the water? Very.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
No, totally buddy system, always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
for real.
Even on land. Just, no, because it can get kind of crazy. Everyone's running over like everywhere and like, especially in the city.
Yeah.
You know, communication, tell everyone where you're going all the time and like never really assume. And like, don't miss the bus back from Coco's.
Do not miss it.
You'll understand.
Do not miss
They're actually
Back
not
to
staying at
the-
the villa, they're staying in a booth.
Oh
So
my
there will be no
gosh.
missing the bus.
Okay, so not us.
Are you jealous?
No, I.
Because like, you're out, you're home.
I mean,
Yeah,
all the bus at the
we
time.
were running to make the
Yeah.
bus.
Remember
They
Zaya
know
walked
it.
all the way back from the booth in the middle?
Yeah, just with me here.
3 hours.
Zaya.
Yeah, oh my.
I was
Right at the
terrified
beginning,
for her.
too.
That was crazy.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do that.
Or else.
Always
Was
honk
it-
your horn when you go over a bridge.
Don't assume, if you're crossing the street, don't assume they see you. Just like,
No,
just go.
Just
run.
run.
Yeah, just run. Yeah, I guess that wasn't good.
no.
Was it hard to like adjust at first?
You just depends on the person. I think
Yeah.
like it was even a little bit harder for some people at certain points, like. Like what I'm expecting. You're gonna get home. And it's gonna be like a really big change of like routine.
Yeah, it's just pretty open, like.
I mean, if you hate your life here, then yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Guys, everybody's gone and there's all these like cupcakes and.
I mean, God, I'm sugar in my hands.
Everybody's hungry.
So looking hungry.
This seems like this is really valuable conversation. What if we all grab something and bring it back in?
Okay, or we can be outside. Rosie, are you still with us?
I was thinking. we're gonna-
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
And come back in here.
Everybody got up and like.
You can never have too much.
They're all cupcakes.
We're all cupcakes.
Get off that chair.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I think. Oh, it's like.
Well, so there's many names for Tara, the goddess of mercy. So Shakti is the name that.
Oh my God.
Is for Duba.
Wow.
I know, I just
So
have.
let's see, there's many, so her more, not here. Oh, there goes, she's really beautiful. I love her.
Come get a snack, cause it's.
Oh,
I
heard too. Wait,
Oh,
don't lock us out. Wait, make sure we have.
Oh, yeah.
Cause that,
Put a chill chair.
thank you. Oh, not put it on, open it up.
Oh my God. You know what we should do? Yes, you know. We're just gonna take one of our bowls. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah.
Wait, who already whipped out it? Oh, that's yours.
Ankle.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have like options there to speak, like. Yeah, it's Max too, that's true.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, me, yeah.
I'm Rachel.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, you.
No, I'm so excited.
Wait.
I'm repurposing some of the resources.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's exciting.
Oh, is it nice with the bugs, right?
It's really not.
Where? What?
It's on the side.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world, as long as I got a bed to sleep in, like.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Central Valley, I'm near Stockton.
It's kind of cold in here, right? It's like 30 minutes that way. Ohio.
Oh, okay, I know where. I'm gonna.
What everyone
get.
Oh, really?
What's
the haul?
Just happened in Wyoming. Just winters here in her summer in Wyoming.
Earlier, I was like, bro.
If you didn't say anything, no one, oh, no one could tell that you
She
weren't part of
twice, I
it.
think. But she only does it like twice a year, so.
No.
That's a minute.
It's already five.
It's like waiting for the one before.
What a healthy dinner.
Yeah, it's literally all sugar.
Why didn't you have cheesecake?
On the side.
No.
Dang. We have so much.
It's okay.
I don't even have a fork. Fuck.
I'll make myself sick if I eat too much.
I'm okay with that.
Fair enough.
Because there was 90 minutes.
My tummy can't do that much sweet stuff.
That's okay. No, it's.
Neither can my head, but so fast.
What's there?
Like, along the streets.
I was dealing with it.
Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices.
Where are you guys from?
Exactly, especially because it's free.
Exactly. No, if it's free, I'm gonna eat it.
Down
Yeah,
south,
exactly.
like an hour inland from Temecula,
Or from
San Diego, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. What about?
All right.
I live in Oakville.
Yay, we have lots of snacks.
This is about
Yeah, you did say that. I also live in Oak.
This is so fun. My
And there's more drinks in our cooler too. And we won't.
Cedar Springs.
We'll
Yeah,
wrap up soon. so
Between
We can all go
Miramar.
play outside.
yeah.
But
We only have the Shell gas station here.
I think I do.
Big gas station.
Yeah.
And then the Thai food place.
Oh, I love the time place. I know where OT is. That's cool.
questions of, like, people wanna hang out outside, is that okay? Done?
You could also, I could like call her on my phone if she wants to be like
Oh, that's a good
included.
idea. You have pause the recording.